Hello to the YouTube crowd when you guys show up. And hey, how's it going, Lisa? How's everyone else doing? Good to see you. Oh, hey, how's it going? I like this new live feature where, hey Bella, good to see you. Where people kind of know I'm going live ahead of time. So now I can actually like have people here when I start. Hey Empress, how's it going? Empress 444, good to see you. Michelle York, good evening. Impressive mix. Hey, I'm doing pretty well. How are you doing? Shishi thing, good vibes. Yes, let's good vibes for this live, please. Felt that. Bella, hey. Hey, Miss Red, how are you doing? And Brabs, how are you doing? Ooh, Alita Stacy's here. Good to see ya. Hey, how are you doing? Good to see ya. All right. Well, I mean, normally, kind of wait for people to show up, but y'all are already starting to show up. Hey, Barbara, how are you doing? Oh man, so how's everyone's June been? How's everyone's June been? All right, so we're gonna do some general stuff. Me, I'm doing pretty well. I'm like, I feel like I'm good. I'm ready. Sometimes no, I'm good. How about you? It sucked. I'm sorry to hear that many VDM. I hope it's a better July for you. It's 100 degrees in New Jersey. Dang, it's like 90 here. I was like outside. I'm like, why is it warm? I'm like, oh, it's 90 degrees out of nowhere. Insane. June. Dang. Been sleeping a lot. Well, I hope that's been good for you. Restful. Good evening, little child. Good. I'm glad you're great, Alina Stacy. Hey, Prince Priestess, how are you doing? June's been busy for you? Been sleeping a lot? Yeah. Well, there's a lot of energy that's been coming in, is what they're saying. So, like, you've been needing that time to recuperate and just kind of, like, integrate any downloads. That's perfect. I think that's going to be a lot of you in July, honestly, is what I'm getting. 115 in Seattle. Dang. I think I read about that recently. B-Day weekend this week? Ah, happy birthday. Well, I hope it's a beautiful birthday for you and that the universe kind of brings you a gift or something that you want to see. All right, so diving in. Oh, my guys want me to do one thing. What do you want me to do? All right, I'm just gonna set a quick intention for the live before. Oh, it's your oh, happy birthday to you, Sarah Jean. I think you said that in one of like my last Sunday live that I did. But happy birthday to you too. Hey from Portugal. Hey, hey from Illinois, USA. How's it going? All right, I'm just going to set a quick intention for the live. So, for the highest good, I'm asking that everyone here is blessed, that the space is held for this live in the highest and best ways by the universe, by source, by the divine, that I'm guided to bring through the highest and best, most accurate messages for each of you as this goes about. That the highest and best comes about for everyone regarding it. So, may this live bring the highest and best energy to each of you as would be for the highest good from source, or however would be highest and best. All right. So let's jump in. Thanks for the rose. Sarah Jean was my lover. Momo, how's it going? Our mom of 3917. Is it Momo F or is it mom of 3917? Good to see you either way. So I do have. I think, little child, you're mostly right about your ex, intuition-wise, is what I get. Close enough, at least. So, I do have a bunch of channeled messages for July for each of the signs, the sun signs. So it's for sun, moon, rising, or it's supposed to be. So, so we're just gonna go. We'll start with Aries and go through all the sun signs. This is just supposed to be messages for July or pertaining to July, and we'll have a collective kind of message at the end, and we'll see what else my guys want me to bring through. I'm probably gonna pull cards as well. Get these ready. And just kind of pull a card for each sign and see what comes through on top of it. And it will be reposted to YouTube if anyone asks in the comments and someone's there to let them know. That would be cool. Cool. So, we are ready. They want me to give it one more minute. I'm gonna drink some water. By the way, can everyone hear me all right? It looks like you can. I mean, based on the comments so far, but... Okay. All right, they want me to start. Oop, jumping me into channel mode. All right. Ooh, excuse the neck roll. All right, so first one, Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising. So this is a collective general message. So just look where this will apply for July. I feel like this will outline the energies, and we'll see about anything additional that comes through as well. You can hear me well? Perfect. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So Aries, first thing that came through for Aries July 2021, and this is a little bit flexible. There were also like messages that came on like just for the whole summer, or just for ooh, thank you. That was cool. Thanks, Willow Child, for the sunglasses. Appropriate for summer. But the first message that came through was look up. So look on the bright side. There's plenty to be grateful for. And what this was referring to when I channeled it down was it's an angel deck. I don't even own this deck, but I got a reading from a friend and she sent me pictures. And it's this card that's look up. It's from like a Metatron Archangel deck. And the whole premise of the card, as far as this reading pertains, is if there's anything like dramatic or drama-based going on, things aren't, they aren't terrible, is what I want to say. And you know, it is a bit general, so if you feel like it's terrible, I understand. But I think, honestly, the message is like there's plenty to be grateful for. There's definitely like more going around you that can pull you out of any funk than I think you realize. And it's okay to be in that space if you're there, but the gist is there's plenty to pull you out of it. And so the more you can bring in gratitude and look on the bright side, I think you're gonna have a better month, which makes sense on a lot of levels. But I do get that if you are going through a tough time, Aries, things will improve in August, or they'll improve either way, I think, if you're having a good time. So Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, I would say things will improve in August for you. I think the summer will be interesting is an overall message I'm getting for Aries. Summer will be interesting, so some good, some bad, but I think overall it might be a little weird for you, honestly, as a summer for you guys, Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising. That's what I'm hearing. I would also, another thing that came through, maintain your trajectory. You haven't failed is something that they want to say. So throughout like any ups and downs, like you've never really been a failure, despite appearances. For some of you, if you feel like you have been, you actually are on the right track, even if you feel like you have to do some weird stuff to move forward. Is kind of what I'm getting, and I'm very curious to see like how that resonates for each of you as far as weird stuff, because like the visual they give me is like it's almost like a sand dune, or like it's not quite a desert because it's almost tropical, but it's very sandy, and it's like you're trying to move forward, but there's these big like sand mounds, and like there's like you're like digging tunnels through some of them, and then you're like climbing over other ones, and it's like the end is in sight, but it's just like weird how you're having to traverse this landscape. I don't know. That's the visual I'm getting. So hopefully that makes sense to you guys. Excuse me. Next thing, you will succeed, which makes sense. Like the end was in sight. For some of you, that's in love and romance that came through in like parentheses underneath. So keep a lookout for that. If you have any endeavors, or if you've been like trying to get something to work in love, you will have your victory is kind of the words that are coming to me. So maintain hope, keep going. Another message, try your best in July. So even if things aren't panning out the way you'd like, the way they're phrasing it to me now, like keep trying, because I think like you're gonna learn more from like putting effort into something, even if it's like not happening right away, than if you just kind of like give up. Like you're probably gonna get the boat closer to, if the visual they're showing me, if like there's a boat on the beach and you're trying to get to the water, you're probably gonna get closer if you just like try to move it than just like say, oh, it looks heavy, I'm not gonna move it, or just like give up after one go, because maybe you can rock the boat, or maybe there's other ways you can get the boat there, but trying is gonna yield results, even if you don't get there. Does that make sense? So I do want to say, like for Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, your luck will increase in autumn 2021 this year. So if you feel like things have been like rocky or rough, luck is going to get better probably in the autumn months and through the winter. I think it's just like one of those things where you're kind of like shaking off the old still, and you're just kind of preparing for that upshift that's coming at the end of the year is what I'm getting. I do want to say, in that vein, your blessings, Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, will multiply. Winter 2021 to the 2022, like that's kind of in that same vein of like the luck increasing, what they were just showing me. So I would just pay attention to where your blessings are going to multiply in the winter. That doesn't mean don't try, because again, like there's that try your best in July. That's just like a heads up, like if you're struggling, like it won't be forever. Like you're just going to have more of an increase in like yields or gains, like probably in the winter time, in a lot of areas I'm getting. So next up for you is, I would definitely be patient in July. That kind of ties in with a lot of the other messages, and keep manifesting. If you've been trying to manifest something and it's like, it is on the way, but sometimes it's okay to like reiterate your intentions. And there's a quote from this lady named Sark that they wanted me to share, which is ask again, ask differently. Little child, that boat analogy was too accurate in a weird way. Yeah, that's as long as it makes sense to you guys. That's sorry, my guys don't want me to interact with chat too much during these stints here. It's probably for the YouTube replay, but I will be looking at chats in between at least. So ask again, ask differently. Like, if you ask and something sort of shows up, ask again, reiterate it. Maybe like bring in a bit. Be a bit more vehement, I guess, if that makes sense, and then ask differently. And they want me to tell you about some of my experiences. So, like, the Mercury in retrogrades this year, to share an experience. Like, the first one, I was like, all right, what will it take for this to be the best Mercury in retrograde yet? And it was pretty good. There were some really, really good things that happened. And this was like in February, I want to say. And like it was good. There were still some like very Mercury in retrograde things that happened, but like all in all, like I made a lot more of improvement here on TikTok. I think I hit 1,000 followers, and I could start going live and have like more success with that. And then the second one, I was like, okay, I'll try it again with this next one. I'm like, what will it take for this to be the best Mercury in retrograde yet for this past Mercury in retrograde? And what happened was, it was like really, really smooth and amazing, and I hit like. I think I hit like 14,000 followers or something. Like it like doubled my TikTok count, and like I quit my night job and started doing readings full time. So like I had a really, really amazing Mercury in retrograde, and I don't know. I know in theory you're not supposed to make big changes during Mercury in retrograde, but I just kind of did it. There were some friends who were like intuitively saying you should probably do it, and I just felt guided to. So I don't know, maybe it was just part of me having the best Mercury in retrograde yet. But that's kind of the ask again, ask differently. It's like it's okay to keep trying and showing up and asking and like changing your approach and asking in different ways. Like maybe you always ask the angels for help. Maybe it's time to ask Mother Mary. I don't know. Just try it. I don't know. Another message for July for Aries: just enjoy the moment. So yeah, I think like that goes along with that look up message at the beginning. As long as you're like being present, enjoying the moment, I think things will be more bearable, is what I'd say, instead of getting stuck in the past or like worrying about the future. I'm getting the future is taken care of as a message, so like I wouldn't really worry. But the more presence, the better. Just enjoy your summer months to the best of your ability. So definitely hang in there. Hope is on the way was kind of like a phrase that they gave me. We did not get to Aquarius yet, Texas Mama Lily. So that's still coming up. That's going to be the last one. Actually, you are... This is also for Sun, Moon, Rising. So if you know your Sun, Moon, Rising, some of those other messages on the way to Aquarius might be for you, resonate with you. The Sign of Moon Girl. Just got my book. Oh, awesome. That's awesome. You got... I hope you enjoy it. That's... I'm curious to see what you think about it. It was good chatting with you on the phone by the other way, too. You're welcome, Texas. My gosh, Texas Mama Lily. Okay, so that's Aries. We're moving on to Taurus, and we have just started the Zodiac reads. So this is for Sun, Moon, Rising. So if you have any of these in your Sun, Moon, or Rising, the readings for you is the intention. You did not miss Scorpio. So we have done only one sign. We've only done Aries. So on to Taurus. All right, so Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising. Here are the messages. Oh, I didn't pull a card for Aries. Split the angel deck. So you know what? That message that I just said, hang in there, hope is on the way, and we got Archangel Hope. So look for a cosmic gift. Remember you deserve it. Yeah, and then we have Abundance. The card is right behind it too. So hope's on the way. I really feel like that just ties in with that. And pay attention to rainbows as a sign that all will be well. So, okay, Taurus, sun, moon, rising. Let's go. First message I get is like fold, pack up and go, travel, changes, reaching destinations. So if you've been striving for things, Taurus, you're probably gonna reach your mark soon, is something I'm getting. Like, I think it's like a goal is attained. That's probably for the summer, not just for July, based on what they're telling me. You might be traveling this month or have plans to travel. You might have certain like change of plans coming. Weird message I'm getting is any changes you make are probably going to lead to the same destination anyways. Like they're showing me like a path, and then like there's like a rock in the middle, and you can go left or right. And like if you were going to go right and you decide to go left, it's just all goes around the rock and comes back to the same path. So that's kind of like the message I'm getting. So don't worry about any changes that come up. You're not off path is what I'd want to say. But pay attention to travel. It's a good month for that. Next message, they showed me like an origami for the next portion, and they were like, you are shape-shifting. It's like, and the message that came through to kind of explain that was like learning to groove in new ways. So, because you know origami, you start as a piece of paper, it becomes like a bird or whatever. So it's more just like, you're still you, because the paper is still paper. And I'm not calling you paper, because you're not paper and bland and boring. You're a colorful, magical being. But you have this ability, or you're learning to like mold yourself to certain situations, and it's healthy. It's not a bad thing. It's just you're learning how to like do things in different ways that yield different or better results. And I feel like you're accomplishing things with style. So if that resonates, perfect. That's a message I'm getting. So pay attention to that. The next point that I was getting for July, if you have any goals, I would definitely charge at them. It's not really a good month to be waiting around about your goals. It's definitely a good month to be charging towards what you want to achieve. There are finish lines ahead. It's definitely in the summer, is what I want to say. And that kind of goes back to that first point we talked about. Next thing, spiritual upgrade. I do feel like, Taurus, you're going to be more in tune this month than usual, and that will continue past just this month. But pay attention to spiritual upgrades coming in, or if you just feel a bit more in tune or intuitive, that's natural. You're supposed to be going forward is what I'm getting for you guys. Let's see, next message. They showed me like a spark, and they said spark. And what does that mean? A lot of activations, old memories surfacing, and clearing. So like with a lot of those downloads and upgrades coming in, like you're also clearing out, especially as you're like charging towards goals or looking to attain things. Sometimes you have to let go of some old paradigms, beliefs, or ways of thinking before this new reality shows up. And I'm not saying you're blocking it by clinging to it, because far from that, you're actually clearing that stuff out pretty like readily is what I'm getting. But I would definitely like, you might be triggered this next month in July, Taurus. So be patient with yourself as things change. Which kind of ties in with all that. The next point was like, you've been through enough and it's time for blessings. So if it's been a hard time, like take heart, because it's like, that's gonna kind of like stop and like start to fall away. It's almost, do you guys remember the Avengers with like the Thanos snap, excuse me? It's like kind of like a lot of those troubles are just gonna be like slowly dissolving into dust, was the message they gave for me. Love for Taurus in the next month. I do feel like late summer is love for Taurus. I mean, some of you, yeah, for July, but I do feel like late summer for Taurus for love is the message I'm getting right now. So, but don't limit yourself. If someone comes in July and say like, oh, Brandon said not until late summer, so no, it's give it a shot. That might be the person that you end up, getting more solidified with later in summer, more on a commitment. My gosh. Anyways, next point. Peace unfolding mid-month. So something about mid-month, I think there's just going to be more peace and like that latter half of the month and kind of going into, I guess August is the month after July, huh? For some reason I thought there was a month in between there in my head, because I don't ask about that. That wasn't a channel thing. That was just a weird Brandon moment. But definitely like mid-month July, there's going to be peace unfolding more for you. So just keep an eye out for that. I do feel like that's inner peace, but I think it's also external circumstances sparking more peace for you. And just like a little bit more quiet is what I see or get. Next point for Taurus. I do get like a change of course. So sometime in the summer, I do feel like your life will take a turn. I do think like it's kind of like a different passage. And you're gonna have better outcomes, because it's kind of like the visual they were showing me. Let's see if they update that right now. No, it's kind of like if you're driving a car, you probably don't want to end up in the middle of the ocean. You might want to go to the beach, but you probably don't want to go into the ocean. So I think Casey Lereiki, yeah, you did miss Aries, but that will be on the YouTube replay. So I apologize about that. But if you have Sun, Moon, Rising, and other signs, that will apply as well. So let's see. But yeah, so like if you're in, you probably don't want to drive into the middle of the ocean. So you're probably gonna have a turn of course. And for some reason, like the visual I was getting is like you turn and like you're headed towards like these mountains with snow-peaked cliffs. And this isn't necessarily literal, maybe it is for some of you, but so I want to get a bit more clarification on that visual I was getting. I feel like you're going to take a turn this summer, probably like August, and you'll end up somewhere better than you were going to go, if that makes sense. I do get the message steady wins the race, so don't tucker yourself out. So some of the additional messages will upgrade, and just pay attention to like flow. I do feel like flow is an important theme for like summer months for you, Taurus, for whatever reason. So some side messages. You're definitely not on the wrong track if you were worried about that, and definitely take it easy sometimes, which kind of ties in with that message. Like definitely keep working towards your goals, but it's okay to take like an afternoon, an hour, a nap, a day, you know, if you can. So that's what I get. You're moving out on August 19th. Heck yeah. I love this work. So I'm going to pull a card. Which angel deck for Taurus? You know what the top card? Archangel. Oh. It mixes in pretty readily with the other messages. Archangel Metatron's the card. And it says, oh my gosh, I'm dropping it. Increase your light levels, open your stellar gateway chakra. This is kind of like a light upgrade card, which ties in a lot with that upgrade message. So I guess, and you know what? They're showing me the sun, and they're saying the sun will shine for you, Taurus. So don't give up. Keep charging towards those goals, but do take a break here and there. Okay, so there's more signs to go. That's for Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising. They want me to give you guys another card for the Taurus. Top Dragon card. And we were talking about flow, weren't we? And we have Water Dragon. Helps you flow easily around obstacles, so that's... And you know what, side message, they're showing me the pillar, and they're saying you're a pillar of strength. So keep your fortitude going, Taurus. So that's Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising. We're going to move to the next sign here. And this live might go on a bit longer than I thought it would, but that's okay. We're just going to keep going for however long it takes. So next, crazy, I pulled a card titled Flow to get today. Hey, I love that synchronicity. Spirit is speaking. Okay, quick water break. Oh, I'm gonna grab my water across the table real quick. Okay, I'm back. All right, so we just got Aries and Taurus done. So if that was your Sun, Moon, or Rising, we will have a YouTube replay up on my YouTube. Link in the description, coming up here soon. So next sign is Gemini. Okay, excuse me. They're just getting me more into channel mode. So here we go. So Gemini, here are some of the messages that came through for Gemini. Maintain trajectory. That's really like a stay the course. So they're kind of showing me like a boat sailing through the water, but it's more of a steamboat for whatever reason, or like a tugboat, I don't know. But the way they're showing it to me is like, if you just maintain your course, you won't really hit any like rocks or anything. So it's like, there's like a tugboat going through the water, and there's like these big rocks, and like you're not gonna hit the rocks if you maintain your course. Does that make sense? So that's not to scare you if you like make a different choice, like that's okay. It's just like, you're on the right track is kind of the message. Next message / point was like, any shifts that occur in like July or just like around July are going to be upshifts for you. Gemini is what I'm getting. So any shifts that are occurring, any changes that are coming up. Ooh, thanks for the butterfly, Casey Lay. Excuse me, really appreciate that. So any shifts for Gemini are upshifts. So if you get news of a shift, if you feel like you're shifting internally, if you have an idea and you want to, or if the universe just throws something your way, don't worry about it. It's an upshift. The next point, you will find your magic and seeing more of your magic. So July, you might be seeing more of your magic. My gosh. And you'll find more of your magic in just some of the months ahead. I really feel like that's something that's surfacing for you that's like been there for a while, but now it's about to become more potent and more like solidified where you're like, okay, yes, there's something more to me. Like I can manifest things, like I can do this healing work or whatever it is. That's what I'm getting for you, whatever that means for you. So next message, grab the bull by the horns and grit wins. Excuse me. So essentially, like, so I want to tie this in with the tugboat thing a little bit. If there's any changes that you want to make, that is part of the path. So you're not like necessarily like changing your trajectory in a negative way with the maintain course message. If you've been wanting to make a change and you're like ready to, does that make sense? It's like that's part of the trajectory. But they're talking about grit wins. So anywhere where you need grit, like keep at it, or where you've been applying grit to your life, or where you're just like gritting your teeth and just powering through, like keep at it, because it's going to see you to the other side and better than ever before is the message I get. Another next message for Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising. If you want a change, make a change. Either way, tackle projects head on, and that really goes with the grab the bull by the horns and grit wins. I think I don't know if being passive is going to be a good thing this month for you, Gemini. That's kind of to tie that together a bit more, if that makes sense. Another message, keep grounding if you have a grounding practice, because it's almost like maybe typically you'd have 1 foot on the earth and 1 foot on the air. But like the visual they're showing me is like you have 1 foot in the air, like kind of up behind you, and then the other foot that would typically be on the ground is like you're just levitating off the ground. So make sure you're grounding or doing something to earth, like get your bare feet in the earth or hold on to a black tourmaline or a grounding crystal or something, but just make sure you're grounding. That's going to be important, I think, for the journey ahead. Next message, vacation is a good idea for most of you this summer and through the fall, actually. I don't know why, but if you're taking a vacation, it's a good month to do that. Next message, don't butt heads. Diplomacy is a good idea this month. So just make sure you're practicing diplomacy in July, even in areas you normally wouldn't. I think it's like, I wouldn't bend over backwards to the degree that it hurts, but maybe before, like if you were gonna rise in anger, take a step back and be like, okay, how can we both win here? Or is it really that big of a deal if I let this person eat 2 brownies instead of 1, or whatever the analogy is, you know, however that resonates. But I would just make sure you're being diplomatic. Another message, you haven't lost. It's kind of like that you're not dead yet message. You're not, you're here, you're watching this, or you will be on YouTube in the future. But another message for July, just to take forward with you, is like you haven't lost, and you're not gonna, is kind of the message I'm getting. However that resonates. Next message, which kind of Taurus had a similar message, but take a break, seriously. But I think for you guys, it's like the longer the better, within reason. Like I wouldn't take like 2 weeks where you just lay in bed and be lethargic, but I think like you guys need rest is kind of the message I'm getting. So it's okay to take a weekend. It's okay to take a day off. Like just, yeah, take a break, seriously. Next point was meant for more and trust your instincts. So I think that's part of like the magic rising message that came through earlier. But trust your gut and your instincts because you're really being led onto the right path. I do feel like things are going to get better for you guys, actually, as I'm sitting with the message. But I mean, honestly, I think that's pretty self-explanatory. Your instincts are on point, so that's just a reminder. A few other messages here. God is watching over your path, and let the summer be fun. So I think if you can bring more fun and joy into your summer, that would be a good idea, honestly. It doesn't have to be all work. But yeah, no, God is watching over your path. You're really not going to mess it up, that I'm getting for most of you. We're going to cut the deck. So Dusky Pink Dragon from Andromeda prepares your chakras to embody higher love. So that's for Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, and first of all, I would pay attention to music as a sign. They're showing these music notes. Cricket is a sign for good luck as well, so good luck coming in. But love will find you if you don't have it, is the message I'm getting. It might not be this summer, honestly, but like fall actually looks very promising for you guys. That's what I'm hearing. But love is coming. That's what I'm getting. So you might be more loving in July, or you'll have more of that energy around you one way, shape, form, or another. But love is coming. So that's what I have for Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising. Hope that makes sense. Hey, Kylie, how's it going? Amazing Dimitri. Hey, how's it going? So I hope that resonated and makes sense for you. I do get it's going to be a good month for you guys, Gemini. So anything else you guys need to know before I move on? Definitely make sure you're taking care of yourself, but maintain trajectory is kind of one of the main. Oh, thanks for the perfume, Michelle. I really appreciate that. Just maintain trajectory is one of the main messages. So the next sign we have is we're moving to Cancer. So first of all, happy birthday to the Cancers coming up in July here. You're welcome, Michelle York. You're welcome. Thanks for the perfume. Excuse me. So jumping right in, Cancer. So for you guys, Sun, Moon, Rising, you are winning is the first message. So I feel like there's a lot going on where you're winning, either in July, if you don't feel like that's happening already, but that's coming where you're going to be, Friday's birthday's your Friday. Friday is your birthday, Kylie. Happy birthday on Friday. Monday, yeah, heck yeah, all the Cancer birthdays. I like Cancers, by the way, guys. I've met a lot of Cancers I really get along with and enjoy. Cancer men and women I've found to be pretty awesome people in general, or I've really enjoyed their company. So side notes, just gonna anyways, so you are winning was the first note. The second one is take a break, please. I think there's a theme. This might be collective where people are just like not as exhausted as before, but still needing breaks. And weird message I'm getting for this is like I'd also like pump the brakes is like a message and visual they're showing me for you guys in Cancer, just in certain areas. If you feel like you're going too fast, or if you feel like you're being reckless, which I don't recommend, pump the brakes in certain areas and just make sure you're going about things in a way that's safe and at an appropriate speed for you. Trust your gut on all that as well. But that's something I'm hearing. You might be busy this month, Cancer. I feel like I do get like a lot of activity. Like I do see 8 of Wands as a tarot card they're showing me. I don't have a tarot deck with me, but that's just like visually they're showing me 8 of Wands. And unfortunately they are showing me 5 of Swords. I want to get clarification on that. Actually, they kind of put the Sun card over it and said victory. So I'm just going to do a tarot reading without the cards. They're just going to keep showing me cards. It's fine. I do feel like you will be victorious, Cancer. It is kind of your month. So I would kind of like expect an amplification of positive aspects this month, like for you personally, but in your life is what I'm getting. Or and you know what, you can always ask for that too for your birthday. So hey universe, for this month I would like. But anyways, next point, and maybe this ties in with that 5 of Swords, but they're saying just to be kind to neighbors or people around you. It's worth being kind. So even if people are aggravating you, or if there's like excessive noise or something, I think more kindness will yield better results in the long term than I don't know if Cancers really freak out on people. I haven't seen a lot of Cancers freak out on people, but for whatever reason, being kind to your neighbors, important point they wanted to bring through. That might just be for some of you. Next point, go easy on yourself. I would not beat yourself up about anything. There's not a lot that's your fault is a message that's coming through. Like anything that you're going through, or like if you're in any like verbal tussles, like I would just be kind and caring. And a side message is like there's not a lot that you've gone through that's your fault. Next point, not meant to fail. So this ties in with the you are winning card. So like any endeavors, anything you've been like going for, you're really not meant to fail, whether that's a business, a project, helping someone. I don't know however it resonates for you, it is a general reading. Not meant to fail is a message, and I do feel like that's a very positive omen. next message for July here. Don't stay where you don't belong. There's better ahead. So if you don't feel like you're celebrated, it's okay to move along. And I'm not saying to go wild and cut everyone out of your life. I'm just saying, like, if you have a feeling like you should move on, or you probably should, is like what I want to say. But there is better ahead. So not to worry on that front. And next message is don't get discouraged. So what's that about? I feel like anything that fails is not meant to fail forever. So hopefully that resonates for some of you, or most of you. But don't get discouraged this month, guys. I do feel like there's so much better ahead for you on your path. That's something that's coming through pretty strongly. So don't get discouraged this month. I would also like avoid watching the news and avoid getting sucked into drama. So I don't know what that's about, guys. I don't know what you've been into or doing, but Izzy Music. Oh my God, spot on. Literally decided I'm moving cities after my job contract ends in a month. Perfect. That makes sense then. Leaving my job for grad school, moving on and moving forward. Hey, perfect. It's time, guys. Winning. You're winning. Yeah, so just avoid drama, I would say, guys, for Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising. Next point, blank slate, starting clean will do better. This is on this paper, guys. I'm just reading this. But if that ties in with some of the things you were saying, you're going to do better in the next phase than like previous phases is what I want to say. So I would make the most of any blank slates or starting clean that you're going to be doing. Next point, important month. I do feel like July might be an important month, but for the most part, I would, if you just show up, you can do this, is what I'm getting. So July is probably going to be an important month for you guys. Just show up. You got this. But I would definitely stay the course. It's not a bad time for July. July is not going to be a bad time for you guys. The next point I was getting, and I swear, like, I'm not just, this is on this piece of paper, coming to the end of something, and that's okay. So a lot of you guys are coming to the end of something this summer. I do feel like that's pretty divinely destined. That's pretty, like, ordained. I would trust it. I do feel like it's going to be a busy month for you guys based on what I'm getting. But I already said that. And you know what? If you need this as a reminder, as a tool, definitely like set timers. So like literally like on your phone, set timers. I don't know if you need to set timers for things, but I don't know. So some of the next points, the side messages for Cancer before we move on, they kind of just said vortex at one point, and they were saying it's time to manifest your dreams. So I would like sit down and write out like where do you want to be in the months ahead, in the years ahead, down the road. And it's okay if plans change or if things shift, but it's like I'm not really a huge Abraham Hicks like junkie by any means. That's not really my go-to on like how to manifest or what I do. But for whatever reason, they want to use this analogy for you guys, where it's just like time to put those dreams into your vortex and manifest it. I don't know. I do feel like it's time for abundance as well. It's going to be a good month for you guys, Cancer, and happy birthday were the things I had written down. I'll pull a card, angel deck. I'm going to do the bottom of the deck here. So we have Seraphim Seraphiel, tune into the divine will, open to higher illumination. I feel like the more in tune you guys are getting up there, the more you're just kind of meditating and connecting, the better a time you're going to have up ahead. And I did end up flipping open another card, and they show me this little bird, and I do feel like there's a lot of grace up ahead for you. I would definitely expect any tough times to simmer down. It's just kind of time for the new. So I hope that makes sense. That's for Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising. We'll move on to the next sign here. Makes sense. My birthday's tomorrow. Awesome. Happy birthday. Man, a lot of birthdays coming up. You're welcome, Lori. All right. So next we have Leo. Oh, thanks for the balloon. Thanks for the love balloon, Laurie. I appreciate it. So some of the messages I have for Leo, jumping right in, Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising. And so far, just a quick recap. We've done Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer. Now we're on Leo. We're just going through the order here. It is for Sun, Moon, Rising. So we will have YouTube replays. I will have a YouTube replay of this on my YouTube, link in my TikTok bio. You can subscribe to me there. It'll be up, or don't subscribe and just check in a couple days and watch it, and then do your thing. But anyways, for Leo, first message is roar, which is very Leo, but I would do your best to be very much yourself this month, and just to kind of like shake off any like fog or funk, and just do things you enjoy. By the way, I think for some reason that's going to be important. Okay, and the second message was be you, which I hadn't really read, but that's what they said after I said roar. So, okay, next point, life resolving. I do feel like there's a bit of like a culmination of life lessons and like things you've been going through, and it's kind of coming to the message I'm getting is like coming to 0 points. And so what does that mean? And you guys know like 0 point consciousness, but it's kind of like you've gone through a lot and you're bringing a lot of things together, and you're kind of wrapping it all up into this like black hole of wisdom. This is the visual they're showing me, so bear with me. And so what does this even mean? I just feel like you're going to start off a new point, and you're going to be like starting new projects or a new road ahead with like all the wisdom that you've brought along condensed and just more disseminated and ready to utilize, where before maybe you had a lot of like abstract concepts of wisdom or like lessons, but now it's all kind of tied together neatly, and you're ready to take it forward with you and like either, you know, share wisdom with others, or just like live life more discerningly, if that makes sense. That's kind of the message I get for Leo and like July and this kind of time period. The next message for you Leos here, Sun, Moon, Rising, you aren't someone who's gonna lose. So I would really like take heart and just kind of own your stuff. I do feel like a lot of you do know your salt is a message I'm getting, like you kind of know your stuff. So I would definitely own it and just like be courageous, like when you speak your mind and speak from the heart. Because you're not speaking from a place of inexperience typically. Take that as it resonates. The next point is, if you try, you will succeed. That really ties in with the next point, or the previous point, excuse me. So just try it. It's kind of similar to Cancer, but just try. Like, try to heal. Try to, like, move on. Just try to cut whatever it is. If you've been wanting to do something, just, like, try it. Even if it's just a little taste or a nibble of, like, learning something. Just try it. I do also get for you guys, the best is yet to come. Sometimes when like these life lessons are culminating, this is a message I'm getting, that like we were talking about, things can be a little difficult, but it's just a reminder from the universe that the best is yet to come. Like the game isn't over yet, and you've still got, you know, we're just at halftime, right? That's kind of the analogy they're giving me. So the best is yet to come. I do feel like you'll kind of come out swinging in this next phase of your life, if that resonates. Any failures are preparing you for success. So a lot of that message in the same vein. I do feel like you've been gathering wisdom and disseminating it and like bringing it into something palpable and usable, if that makes sense. Saint. Gemini, Cancer, and Leo are in my big three, and I feel like the messages have been similar. That makes sense. That kind of makes sense because it's for you. And not just for you, but it kind of makes sense that they all resonate similarly when you have all those. Thank you, Captain Swagger. I appreciate that. My guys are saying, say it. I love your videos. I feel like so genuine. Thank you. You feel like they're genuine. I appreciate that. So anyways, also Leo, if you feel like there's any trials like the summer months or in July, you will pass the trials or tests. I feel like it'll be easy for you. It's kind of like a been there, done that kind of thing, where like if there's any test the universe presents you, it's like replaying a video game for the third or fourth time. Like it's not so hard to beat the Zelda dungeon when you know everything that's in the Zelda dungeon, you know? So that's, I don't know, as an analogy. I do feel like it will be an easy month for you for the most part. Excuse me, so that's good. I would take it easy. I do think it's, the next point was take time to lounge. So yeah, take it easy, take time to lounge. Enjoy your easy month, and I definitely hope that resonates for you guys. It is easy for you. I would definitely stay magical and just make sure you're kind of keeping magical things around you. and doing magical things. For some reason, I think that just kind of like keeps you in a better mood and keeps your spirits lifted. So whatever that is, crystal grids, manifesting, I don't know, whatever it is for you. Whatever your definition of magic, to me, that's things like energy work and manifesting and crystals and just kind of like the higher aspects of life and existence. I would definitely stay in tune with yourself this month as well. Probably always, but it's just a good month to realize you know better is something I want to say, like intuitively inside of you. And you know yourself, so definitely trust yourself. Also, like, I wouldn't rock the boat this month for whatever reason, Leo. That's not something I would recommend, but that is coming up where you should rock the boat, if that makes sense, but it's just not July. Maybe like August or September, but for whatever reason, don't rock the boat. I don't know what that means, but hopefully it's more important that you guys know what that means. So take that as it resonates. I do feel like for Leo, it might be, for some of you, a quietish month. Not all of you, but I don't feel like you'll be left out in the cold. So left out in the cold, that usually is kind of like a Five of Pentacles tarot card energy, if you're familiar with it. So like in life, as an analogy, you won't be left out in the cold. So don't worry about that. Or in love, I don't feel like either. Not really. And some of you maybe, but that will be resolved really shortly, honestly. That's what I get. I do feel like you will have a fun summer, Leo, so enjoy. We're going to pull a dragon card, cut the deck. Ooh, stay magical. Source Dragon. Attunes you to the infinite. Be still. In the silence, magic can happen. Be in the moment. So I do feel like Source is working with you, as another message I'm getting for you, Leo. I do kind of like as an added message, like as they say with this card, they are saying like it is time to fly. It is time to own your magic. It is time to go a bit higher. I do feel like that's vibrationally, but that could also be in like some other form of ascent, analogously. But that's the card for Leo. They want another one for you as well. Got the deck. Archangel Michael. They're saying be discerning with this card is something they're saying. Stand in your power, be true to yourself, be discerning. I do feel like, so this is like kind of like shows like a download or information coming in from Source, and the message they said when I looked at that is that you will get the information you need. So if you need information to move forward, or you've been looking, or you've been needing information, you will get the information you need. I do get sunny month for you guys. Sun will shine. So I know sometimes I get a roll on with these cards and they just keep going, but that's okay. So Leo, fine. There's another flow message. Fire and Water Dragon enables your life to flow with loving force. So just be yourself is kind of what they're saying with that card for some reason. But that's what I have for Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising for July. Hopefully that resonates and brings in a good, just helps you out. Brings in something good for you. Yeah, water for sure. Yep, and these are for Sun, Moon, Rising. Guys, so let's move on to Virgo. Virgo. Excuse me. Cool. So the first message for you guys, Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, is run. That's probably from someone. But if there's someone who's like kind of sketchy, that's either like hitting you up either for romance or for whatever reason, it's definitely okay to hightail it out of there. Hopefully that makes sense. Yep, Sun, Moon, Rising is what it applies to. The next message is like TikTok, get cracking. So if you're putting anything off, or if you have any projects, or it's really a good month for pedal to the metal, I think, for Virgo, as far as like projects and like either business or just endeavors or undertakings. I would really get going if you have anything that either you've been putting off or sitting with or kind of ruminating about. It's definitely time to put the pedal to the metal and put the money where your mouth is and take action. And second point is like get your chores done, stay on top of your schedule. Kind of a similar message for Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising. So just make sure you're getting like chores done, stay on top of your schedule. I do kind of feel like you'll regret it if you don't for whatever reason. So I don't know. I do feel like routine is important for you guys this month. I would make sure your routine's like up to par and it's kind of like where you want it to, or it's a good month to start getting that settled in. Definitely by August for whatever reason. That's what I get. another point on top of all that, set aside some time to like celebrate you and your successes and party it up for whatever reason. Like, it's definitely okay to party and let your hair down and enjoy yourself. It doesn't have to be work, but work is important at the same time. But I don't know, for whatever reason, I would party it up this month. That's what they're saying. Next point they brought through, you haven't run behind yet in life, and just keep going. So really the message is you're right on time. Because I know there was a TikTok message, like if you feel like you're behind, like not really. You're kind of like always like right on the point you need to be, if that makes sense. They're kind of showing me like in music, there's the concept of rhythm, obviously. But like when you're playing drums or when you're playing music, you have the metronome or the click track that keeps perfect time. And a lot of the ways you guys have been moving has been like right on time. But to branch out to get to the point they're trying to make, when you have this click track, a lot of the times for like guitar or bass when you're recording, it's okay, like there's this little window around the perfect on beat that you can hit, and it still sounds good, if that makes sense. As long as you're like around, or like you have like this circle that fits on this point. Like for drums, you actually want it to be like right on the point with all your like hits, if that makes sense. And so why am I saying this? Essentially, like, it's okay if you're a little ahead or a little behind, as long as you like keep going, you're gonna be on time. Does that make sense, guys? Hope that makes sense for you. But July, you're not behind, just keep going. Next message for Virgo Sun, Moon, Rising, almost at the end of a cycle of hurdles. So if you feel like you've just been going one thing after another, or like you're just like hurdle, obstacle, and you're just like dodging left, dodging right, sliding under. It's like, what's that? It's like Temple Run, you know, on the app little game where you're just like, you have to dodge under the tree, and then you have to jump over the tree trunk, and then you have to avoid the hole in the path. You're almost at the end of this cycle of hurdles where things kind of smooth out and there's just a lot more flow. And I know flow is a big theme right now, but I actually feel like flow, I think I brought that through as something that was important just for this time ahead for whatever reason. And one of the readings I've been doing for like the general collective readings, it might have been on Instagram, because I do have some Instagram exclusive readings I'll do, but flow and like came through for like both from the past 2 weeks. So flow is an important theme for whatever reason. Pay attention to it. Another message for Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising is you've seen a lot. Take a breather. There's no guilt. Take a no guilt rest. But it's like one day, because again, you do have to kind of get cracking. So it's like, yeah, definitely. It's okay to take no guilt rest, because otherwise you're kind of like half resting. You're like, oh, I should be doing something. Oh man, I've just been sitting here for an hour and I should be doing something. And then you're not really resting, you know, and then you kind of like, you don't get the rest you need. So take like a day of no guilt rest, really, please. This month, I would try to schedule that in. Also, Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, I would trust outcomes. There's a new path unfolding. So anything that's like, any outcomes that are either unexpected or not what you're looking for, that I feel like that's in the past, that's been in the past, I would trust that, because there is a new path unfolding where it's like your dreams are more coming a reality, and like you're kind of finally seeing the results you've been trying to get. So definitely, like, I would enjoy this new path. I feel like for many here it's already unfolded, or it will be unfolding soon. Thanks for the water reminder. I appreciate that. Wee Kyoto, I appreciate it. Yes, I'm gonna do that now. Virgo, make sure to drink plenty of water. You will die if you don't drink it this month. So, it's a joke. Anyways. Wow, I just kind of like broke my thought pattern there. Anyways, next point. Fruitful time ahead in general for Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising. I do feel like this can be a bit of a different time frame for each of you, but like in general, a lot of the Virgos are on track for more of a fruitful time. So keep that in mind, guys. When you're moving forward. Also, next point, don't get your panties in a bunch, brush off the small stuff. Okay, so I feel like that's pretty self-explanatory. Just like, don't let small things, okay, so full disclosure, I am a Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, and this totally makes sense for something that just happened today. So for me, feeling a little called out right now. I channeled these all yesterday, so, or most of these, but Just make sure you're not freaking out about things you don't need to freak out about when you know better, is what I want to say about that. Brush off the small stuff. You're good. Next point. You haven't seen anything yet. Good things will come. So that's a good message for the Virgo Sun, Moon, Rising. Like when that comes through, it's just like a lot of good might have happened already, but there's more on the way. That's what I'm getting. So heck yeah, haven't seen anything yet. That's probably a really good thing, and that's not a bad thing. That's not you haven't seen anything yet in a bad way. That's like explicitly for the good. Just so you guys know. Also, next message: trust yourself. You have what it takes. So July, I would definitely trust yourself and know like you have what it takes to succeed in any endeavors you're undertaking or anything. It could be in love for some of you guys, but you are good enough is what I want to say. This is a message that's coming through for those of you watching this Sun, Moon, Rising. I do feel like there is going to be a bit of a fire under your butt this month, so really like get going. That goes with the TikTok. That doesn't mean don't take that no guilt rest you need. It just means in general, like listen to the flames under your fanny if you feel like you have that going on this month and in the future. It won't be forever. I think it's just kind of like these next few weeks especially. Next point, success is around the corner. Just truck through this period. So if you feel like you've had any setbacks, this is they're just saying to truck through anything like that. Like it's gonna be okay. I do feel like a lot of things are taken care of. As long as you're taking care of yourself and taking care of your responsibilities and like showing up and like doing your best, things are gonna be okay. And I guess that could be advice in general, but that's what they're saying. The next few things they wanted to say are, it might be a wild July for some of you Virgos. Most of you actually, they're saying. Mysteries unveiled. I feel like if there's any lingering mysteries from the past is what they're saying, like that's going to be unveiled, or like you won't really be in the dark about you or your path much longer if you feel like you are. Excuse me. So that's what I'm getting for you guys. You might have to go back to the drawing board in some areas of your life. That might be more love for some of you. Not all of you. Not all of you. Some of you are in happy relationships and that's good, but you might find yourself just kind of like in love, maybe starting over, or just coming back to yourself and like discerning more of what you actually need, if that makes sense. Next point. This is for anyone really, but intuition guides, your guts, etc. will always lead you in the right direction. So trust yourself first is kind of a message I'm getting. Oh, full card. Cut the dragon. Whoop. Okay. So first card we got is Golden Christ the Dragon, which brings you higher love so that you can embody the Christ light. You might have love coming in, guys, just on that point, by the way. Absorb the Christ light, you are protected, expand your heart, and remain fifth dimensional. Protected is a word that's jumping out with me, and it kind of jumps, and I want to see... That was a card, actually. No, we're good. So just know, I do feel like you're expanding. I feel like there is good things ahead. Oh, sorry, I pulled a card just without thinking, and we got Rainbow Dragon. Brings the leap of joy that opens new doors. Have trust, rediscover wisdom, expect miracles, accept opportunities. So you're not going to be in like a cloudy atmosphere much longer, is kind of what I'm hearing. Like if it's like gray skies and clouds, it's not going to last. That's what I'm getting for Virgo Sun, Moon, Rising. So I hope that makes sense. So Libra has not been done yet. That's actually right next here. Libra's next. But that is what I have for Virgo Sun, Moon, Rising. So we'll move on to the next sign here in a second. Probably going to drink some water here. So I hope that resonates and makes sense. I really feel like just make sure you're doing your best and you're going to be okay. And keep showing up, Virgo. Hope that resonates and makes sense. Name Stacy, I love it. Thank you. Oh, you're welcome. Okay, I'm going to take a sip of water. Nikki left defense resonated big time. Perfect. I'm grateful to hear it. Shiro, so Aries was done, yes, but it will be a playback on YouTube. Yes, Pound Starling. Yep. So we will have a YouTube recording up in a couple days after this. I'll have to start a new playlist because I'm playing with doing this monthly. Now that I have more time to do things like this, so we'll see. But I will be posting it. So next sign here, excuse me, we have Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising. So So this is for Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising, and I've just got a bunch of channel messages here, and we'll pull a card or a few. And so let's see what happens. Deja, thanks for jumping in, by the way, and doing moderating. Big love to all the moderators. Deja has been a huge help. Everyone just show some love for the mods when you see them. They are awesome, and definitely huge appreciation for them. So Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising. So the first visual I got as I sat down to channel Libra, and I'll sit down and see what other messages they bring through, was like a dog chasing its tail. There were a couple other ways this like message or visual showed up for me as I was sitting with your guys' messages. But I think like, what's the main message? I would do your best not to run in circles like in July and going forward. I think like there might have been a lot of confusing times in the past is what I'm getting. Like I think that's more recent, but you're kind of coming out of that, and I do feel like the fog will lift and you're going to stop chasing your tail. But the message that came along with that also was set new goals and set higher goals. So it would definitely like raise your standards from like what you're expecting out of life, both like from yourself and perhaps even the people around you, Libra. For whatever reason, that's a point that's coming through where I think expanding your horizons and asking for more from the universe is going to bring you more, honestly. So that's kind of the message that I'm getting for those first couple points. Next message, just the universe reminding you you are loved. I do feel like you have people around you that care about you, Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising, and I think it's important to accept the help that's around you when it's offered is another message I'm getting for you, like just in July. I do feel like a lot of you might feel stuck, but you're not, and I think accepting help from others is going to help you feel less stuck and alone. So if you're presented help, even if it's small, I would accept it, even if it's just like you dropped a book or two on the ground and someone's like, oh, let me help you. Let them help you, even if you could probably just bend down and pick up both books with ease. Like it just kind of gets that giving and receiving flow going with the universe, I guess, if that makes sense. I want to say this in case Her Royal Highness. Lately I've been saying the mantra, show me how it gets better. And gosh, I've been blown away. Yeah, and so that's probably just a tool that Libra needs to hear now that you posted that here, because that is a huge, amazing tool. And I have a different version of that where it's like, it's very similar concept, but the modality excess consciousness, we're like, how does it get any better than this? And and Libras, pay attention in case this resonates for you. But the thought is, when I'm asking how does it get any better than this, the universe is going to show me that answer by manifesting the answer of how it gets any better than that. So you're manifesting it getting better, like with anything it is. It could be a good thing, could be a quote unquote bad thing, but great tool. So thanks for mentioning that, Her Royal Highness. Great tool. So Libra, if you needed to hear that, you can give a big thank you to Her Royal Highness. That's the username for bringing that in. Anyways, the next point that came through for Libra was like, universe sees your plight, respite soon. So I feel like anything you've been going through, the universe sees you and it's going to be pulling you out of the water soon is the visual I get. If you feel like you've been struggling or just like treading water for like a long time, and the universe is like, all right, we've got the pontoon boat and we're slowly coming over, and I just see God kind of reaching down and just hoisting you onto the boats. And I would definitely be not afraid. There's nothing to fear right now, Libra. That's what I'm getting for you. Next point, and this came through for another one of the signs, but the message is like, you've suffered long enough. So the more you can do to mitigate your own suffering, the better. I also think that's part of like the universe sees your plight and respite soon is like, you kind of been through enough, if that makes sense. It's kind of time to just stop putting yourself through heck if you feel like you've been doing that. It is time for better. And the next point was better is ahead. I said it's time for better before I read that, but I like when this line up. So next point, for Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising, like ball and chain for July, I would definitely take time to break all old chains or cut cords, or I do feel like you will be doing that in July. Like anything in the past that is not really serving your highest good, I'd leave it behind. It's kind of just time to move on is the message I'm getting, just from old ways, old patterns, old ways of thinking, if that makes sense. And July is just really going to show you what that is, I feel like, if you don't take action on it. And that's not a threat. That's just kind of what I'm getting right now for you, Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising. Next point, go within and practice what you preach. So it's definitely a good month to go within for Libra, and that came through as like a main point. The more you're going within and just kind of like, I feel like it's kind of like taking stock of like your inner inventory and like, how have I been thinking? How have I been believing? Like, how have I been contributing to my outward circumstances? Like, it's a great time to go within and like look at the things you say and like some of the practices you've been like admiring or wanting to put into play. And it is like I'm not trying to call you out, but they're saying like practice what you preach was a message. So if you've been preaching anything that would be good for you to practice, no judgment at all. I think it's a good time to put it into practice this month, is what I'm getting. And you're good, really, is another message I'm getting. Like, that's not to worry, and that's not like a bad thing. It's just like, it's just a lot. It's time to put a lot of things you've been wanting to do into motion, if that makes sense. Hey, Shamika, thanks for the roses. Good to see you. Next point is, universe is showing you answers to long-held questions. So do you feel like that's going to be happening in July? They are kind of elaborating and saying summer months for that point, but that's something that's going to be happening soon for you guys if it hasn't already started. Just a lot of long-held questions, really. And some of the answers might not be the ones you want, but they're going to help you regardless. I think it's better to know the truth and take action based on the truth at any given moment than to try to live life based on a lie. Because then you're taking action based on things that will actually get you to a better place, if that makes sense, when you're taking action based on the truth. If that makes sense, if someone needed to hear that. Next point, don't go in circles, go in a direction, pick a path. And that kind of goes back to like the dog chasing tail, if you feel like that resonates, because they showed me another visual when I got to this point. And it's kind of just like a full disclosure. If you guys remember Legend of Zelda The Wind Waker, which is an old Nintendo Zelda game, it was a Zelda game and you had a boat and you were in the ocean. So, but the part that matters is they showed the boat and it was just going in circles. Like, it was continually just turning left. And so like, it kind of went back to that dog chasing a tail kind of thing. So to elaborate, don't go in circles, go in a direction, pick a path. I think it's just like, as long as you pick a path, it doesn't matter what direction, as long as it works for you, you're going to be good. I think it's just like, pick something, honestly. That could be in any area, but it's going to be a little bit different for all of you, the way that resonates. But I hope that makes sense to you. Pick a path. Pick something. Choose a direction. Let's go. I feel like as long as you go somewhere, it's going to be okay, regarding how that resonates for you. I do feel like you'll be choosing new in July. I kind of feel like you're going to have to. It's kind of like the new is going to kind of be either thrust upon you, or it's going to be a very obvious choice between like the same old, or something new and exciting. So that's a good message for, thanks for the rose, Her Royal Highness. The next point is, let the universe show you the way. If you are, hesitant to pick a path, I would really ask the universe to highlight the one that's best for you, or that, makes the most sense. I don't really feel like you guys are going to mess up, honestly, based on what I'm getting. But you do have a way that's going to work, and the universe will definitely highlight that for you in your experience, one way, shape, form, or another, if you ask it to. So I would. And some of the main points for Libra, it is time to go within. And they're saying August is go time. I think like a lot of things are going to be culminating to have you like push forward or to push you forward in August. And it's almost like you'll be, to go back to the sailboat analogy, it's like you're going to be riding a wave. I just see like a wave pushing the boats in the right direction, of course. So August is going to be a good time to move forward for you guys. So it's okay if you're not seeing a lot of forward momentum this month in July. August is go time. So I hope that makes sense for you guys. Oh, thanks so much, Your Royal Highness, for the rose. And I can't see what that is, but I appreciate it nonetheless. And the finger heart. Thank you. So that is, I'm going to pull a card. We have, Blue Dragon from the Pleiades. Prepares you to accept source healing. Accept a heart activation. Give and receive heart healing. So I feel like you are healing for Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising. This is could be a healing crisis, or you've been in one in the recent past. I do feel like there has been a lot of growth, and they're saying everything you've been through has not been for naught. That's definitely a message coming through for you guys. they're showing me this little flame on this guy's, like, this dragon's third eye, or it looks like a third eye, maybe it's his crown chakra. Whatever, however dragon energetic anatomy works, there's a flame here. And essentially the message I heard was like kind of fanning your inner flames. So like I would go within and like along with that take stock message, to see what you're passionate about and see if that's updated. Maybe you're passionate about new things, and definitely incorporate more of that in your life in the road ahead. I do feel like you're meant to pursue your passions, so I would. So that's, and also they're showing me the stars. Stardom is not out of the question for you if you want to like blow up on social media or otherwise pursue something where you're in the limelight. However that resonates for each of you, whether it's community or big and worldwide, it's not out of the question. So that's what I have for you, Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising. Hope that resonates and makes sense. I do hope July is good. I do hope better finds you. Oh, it does say better ahead here, so there you go. Hope that resonates. Let's move on to Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising. And let's see what's here for you guys. I'm going to shuffle this deck because I don't normally shuffle. Normally I just kind of like cut the deck in different ways. They just kind of channel it through me, but I'm just going to shuffle it anyways. Excuse me. Okay. Libra, I would also stand in your power as a side message. Don't be afraid to stand up to people and own your worth. Anyways, Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising. Yeah, you're welcome, Unity Cantu. Her Royal Highness, last time you gave me a reading, you said I was a star too. Whoa, thank you. Oh, perfect. I love when things line up. At least it's consistent. I love when things line up with that, with the channel messages, and they always do. They always tend to, but that's what I'm getting. Gina Nazra, I missed Virgo. Will this be on YouTube? Yes, I will be reposting this to YouTube. I'll probably start a little playlist in my YouTube, the Channeling Source YouTube, with like monthly readings, and we'll see if I keep doing this. But it'll at least be there for you guys. So messages for Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising. The first thing that they showed me when I started to channel messages for Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising was like high tide. And I thought that was interesting, but it did tie into some of the other messages. But I think it's like the message that came through along with that is like the landscape will change, kind of like how the tides change. So it's like you might be in like high tide, but that tide won't last forever. It's a good thing though. But so while there might be a bit of ebb and flow to your experience, the landscape's going to change, and I think it's going to unveil a clear path forward or a clear trajectory soon. So like the visual they're giving me is like you're on the beach and it's high tide, but once the tide kind of rescinds, it's like you have all this beach, and it's almost like they're showing me something like Mario Kart. I don't know what's up with the Nintendo analogies today, but it's like there's a little finish line, and like you just have a clear path down the beach to this finish line. So I think like once it's unveiled, I would go for it if you feel like there's like a goal or a trajectory that becomes clear to you in the summer months or in July. This might be late July that this shows up for you, but it's going to be a little bit different for each of you. That's what I'm getting. So ready for clear paths, and finally, yeah. Well, I'm glad it's resonating. It's coming, guys. That high tide's not forever. I do feel like you'll have a better idea in summer. Next points. Watch the moon phases, which kind of plays in with the high tide thing as well. I do feel like that's going to have a big effect for the Scorpios here. It is for the highest good. So what's up with watching the moon phases? Just pay attention to the energies and how it differs. Like I would definitely manifest on the new moon, do whatever you do on a full moon, or just like do the moon water thing. Just pay attention to like what's going on with the moon for whatever reason. That's important right now. It will be for a while, most likely for you guys. Next point, you didn't mess up. So if you feel like you messed up or made a change or a life choice, it hasn't been perfect, like you didn't mess up, it's gonna get better. So that's something I want to say. That's just in general, but I know it's a bit vague, but I feel like it's supposed to be actually, because it's supposed to be a little bit different for each of you. Next point, there is a new change is what I'm getting. I do feel like there's going to be puzzle pieces clicking into place. I guess that's similar to the Mario Kart analogy. I do feel like that's also like views of the world. That's just like the way you've been like looking at things, or like things that you've been sitting back and like just not quite understanding, or just curious how it all like makes sense. I do feel like puzzle pieces like clicking into place in July is going to be, and onward is going to be a theme. I do feel like that's for the rest of the year, because they're kind of shouting rest of the year. So for the rest of the year, that's going to be happening. And it is all for the highest good. And what is that all about? I do feel like you're just going to be feeling more complete come next year. That's kind of the message I'm getting. So take that as it resonates, Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising. Next point is like, get off the fence. It's go time. You know, what is, I can't read my own handwriting sometimes, so bear with me. I think it says that you know what's, I get real, like you know what's real for you. So I think like if you've been on the fence about certain things, you're like, okay, am I like this? Am I like that? I think it's just time to like get off the fence and not contemplate as much and start like just taking action towards certain things, even if it's small. And I know we talked about like the landscape changing and things making more sense, but I feel like this is a bit different. I think this is a bit more internal, actually. It's almost like decisions about yourself is kind of what I'm seeing. So take this as it resonates, if it even makes sense to you guys. I think like if you're on the fence about something you've been wanting to do, I would just start doing it to bring a little bit more clarity to that message. That's what they're saying. So keep that in mind, and you can just keep that in your back pocket, and if it makes sense later in July, perfect. Next point, flow. Now is the time to flow with change, with the direction you're going. You're onto something. So it's essentially like if you've been going in a certain direction, or like you've been like trying something new, you're definitely onto something with like the direction you've been going. It's kind of like when you're fiddling with a puzzle for like an hour or something, like you don't feel like you're making headway, and then all of a sudden you do something a little bit different, and you're like, hey, hang on a second, that did something. If you had any moments like that, or if you do in July, you are onto something, so keep going that direction, if that makes sense. So next point is God has a plan and it's about to fall into place. So I do feel like that's part of the landscape changing and the Mario Kart analogy. It's kind of like if you felt like you've been up in the air, I do feel like God's kind of been like lifting you to like change the path underneath you to get you on the right one, if that makes sense. It's almost like I guess the analogy I get is like a turntable, where it's like you're lifted up, and like, or like a lazy Susan that you have in the middle of like the table, if that makes any sense. So like, you know, the trains have like turntables, or they used to, where like turn them and they go this direction. Like, I don't know, for whatever reason, they're showing me like you're lifted up, or like Spirit's hand lifts you up, and then like the table, like the ground underneath you spins, and you get on the right track, and you just go forward, and it's like straight to victory. That's kind of the energy I get, or the visual I get. It's analogous, so it might be a little bit different for each of you, but essentially God has a plan and it's about to fall into place. You're about to be put down, that tide's about to rescind, there's about to be a clearer pathway, you're gonna know where to go, all will be well. It's kind of what I'm getting. So that's anxious auntie. Yes, I feel that. Thank you. You're welcome. I'm glad that makes sense. This is for Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, and we're just about to wrap it up. Some of the side messages I'm getting for July, and you are uplifted through any challenges. I do feel like that is through the summer months as well. But if there are any challenges that come through, I do feel like Spirit's kind of like lifting you up, and just even if it has to drag your feet along the ground, it's just kind of like carrying you past it, so you can just kind of start walking again. Next point is stay the course. Universe is steering your ship. So I feel like that kind of goes with that turntable analogy where we're talking about. I just feel like it's kind of like Jesus take the wheel, but it's like if you have like a boat at sea, it's like even if you thought you were steering the ship, like you weren't. It's kind of like the universe was steering it through you. And even if you'd like gone down below deck to take a nap, as a visual they're showing me, like the universe was still there, just making sure the wheel was turned in the right ways. But I feel like it was quite naturally. Like you might not have even realized it was happening, because you just thought like, I'm just gonna go take a nap and let my ship drift, or whatever, or I'm just gonna tie this steering wheel down, but it's still turned anyways. I don't know if that makes any sense as an analogy, but the point is, God is steering your ship. So, and we got these boats. I know it's been like Boat City. It's like boats in Nintendo. That's Virgo was done. Yes, Virgo was done. So I'm gonna pull a card for Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising. Angel deck. Got the deck. We've got, this always tongue ties me, Lord Wiwivsil. Accept and send healing. You are a being of the universe. I feel like one of the messages I get with this card is you are healed, or close to it, or more healed than you realize is a message. I don't know if this resonates for you guys, but they're pointing my eye to this guy's necklace, and they're just like, yeah, pay attention to amulets or necklaces. I think that's more like crystals, like, or just like pendants. So if you go to a shop and you see a nice necklace, maybe go ahead and buy it. That's a very random message to me, but that's what they're saying, so I'm just going to say it. Side message as well, they're like pointing my eyes to these wings, and they're like, you have wings, use them. So I think that's on a lot of levels, and I don't know if that's going to make a lot of sense, but it's pretty much, you have the capability to go above and beyond, so definitely use your tools the best you know how to like do so, in whatever areas you want to see success this month. I think that's going to kind of be the way this month, and maybe a little bit beyond, is just using all of your tools, like everything you have at your disposal to kind of forge a path or to move forward. I don't know if that makes any sense, but and also keep manifesting. When they see spiral, like they kind of say spiral of creation, so there's a spiral on this card. Meant to manifest is a word I'm getting for Scorpio Sun Moon Rising. I do feel like a lot of you guys are potent manifestors, so definitely keep doing that and work with that tool, because that'll take you pretty far. I do feel like you guys are meant to shine as well, because they're kind of showing me these stars. It's kind of like another "you are a star" message, like that came through for Libra as well, I think. But I think, take that how it resonates. But there is a lot of new coming in. They just showed me this little baby on the card, so, and they said a lot of new coming in. So that's what I have for Scorpio. Do they have another message? I do feel like being yourself is important as well. So make sure you're not like toning yourself down for other people. I think the more you can be, the better. And other people can handle it. Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising. Hope that makes sense for you guys. Hey, Jolene, how's it going? You're welcome, Julie McLean 7. Hopefully I'm saying that right. Okay. Sorry, I need like 1 second to sit back. My back is all like, I forget I sit in these positions for like long periods of time when I'm doing readings, and I'm like, why does my back hurt? I'm like, well, probably because I'm like doing this like for 2 hours, I don't know. And then my body pendulum's going the whole time, so I'm gonna get a massage after this. Sometime this month. The guy on TikTok said to get a massage in July, so I'm doing it. You can use that excuse, guys. If you want a massage, you can say, I told you to get a massage. Thanks for the water reminder, Deja. Anyways, not to go on tangents about that stuff. Let's move on. We've got, Sagittarius is next. Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising. Just, by the way, guys, we are like a bit more than halfway through the Zodiac, I want to say. So if we already hit your signs, or if you're coming into this and you still have a Sun, Moon, Rising that's coming, and you didn't have your previous signs, or you didn't catch it, I will have a replay up on my YouTube the next couple days, and I'll have a little playlist called like monthly readings or energy updates or whatever I want to call it, whatever comes through. So that'll be there if you want to see these. All right, Capricorn is coming up after Sagittarius. So thanks, Deja. You rock. I appreciate you. You are a gem. So thank you for jumping in and doing this. Sagittarius, messages I have for you, and we'll pull a card. First message, gaining momentum. I do feel like that's in life, or in an area you've been wanting it. Like, I do feel like you're gaining more momentum towards a goal. I would definitely do what you can to keep that going. I do feel like there's going to be a bit of a snowball effect or a domino effect. Like, as long as you keep the momentum going that you've been building, all will be well, is what I want to say. And it's kind of like, it's almost like what the visual they're showing me is like, if you wanted to, like whatever you've been working on, if you've been working through anything or working on anything and getting momentum towards something, like the momentum you're building, it's like, I see like a boulder rolling down a hill. It's like you could even crash through a mountainside if you wanted to, or a cliffside, and like make it through and keep going. I feel like momentum is an important theme for you in the months ahead. Next point I have is you haven't lost. So I know a similar message has come through for a lot of the signs, but sometimes when you go through like a perceived defeat or like a 10 of swords kind of energy, if you're familiar with tarot cards, like it can feel a little discouraging, but I feel like you're not really down yet. Like maybe you took a knee, but I don't feel like you got laid out. So I think like as long as you keep going, you're going to be okay, if that makes sense in life. I feel like if you feel like you've just suffered a defeat of some type, you haven't really. Anyways, next point, gaining courage. I do feel like you're gaining courage as you gain momentum. I do feel like you're realizing in July you can do things you've wanted to do. I do feel like that is heartening and something that can like just kind of lighten the load of life when you're like, wait, I actually can do this thing. So I feel like either that's happening or that's coming for you guys, where you're just gaining courage and realizing you can do some of the things you've been wanting to, and that can definitely lead to a lot of happiness. I do kind of get as another message, it will be a happy July for a lot of you Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising. So that's what I'm getting for you. Casey Lay Reiki. Oh my God! All I've been talking about is courage and valor. Very on point. I don't know why I want to like say like Valkyrie energy, like if that makes any sense, but that's awesome. Next point. I would definitely save your strength in July, Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising. I do feel like there's a lot of endeavors like coming up for you guys. It's like, yeah, keep gaining momentum, but like also like conserve your strength and don't like overexert yourself this month if you can help it. I think if you have to cut back on a certain task that doesn't matter so much, that's okay. Like I wouldn't get down on yourself. I would definitely conserve your strength and rest as you need to. If you do need to make a change, however, I would definitely go all in. Like the message I was kind of getting with this next point was like, Odin has been sending me crows, I think. Yep. I guess something like that at least. He has. I do get he has for sure. Anyway, sorry, I got messed up. I got distracted by the crows and Odin because that very much interests me. Anyways, I've got to do my reading here. So I would go all in this month if there's something you've been wanting to change, like or soon. It is time to go all in on something you've been considering doing. That's a message I'm getting. So to make a change or in an endeavor, I would go all in. Dive head first, pretty much. It's time, if that makes sense. Next point, God is planning something big, brewing a change or a plot twist. I do feel like that's going to be end of July likely. You'll see this kind of happen. So for whatever reason, I do feel like the visual I got when I got this message is they showed like God with like a cauldron, like brewing something. It's a good thing. Like you could brew coffee or you could brew beer if you like beer. I don't know. But pretty much the message I got was like God is planning something big for you guys. So hang in there. I think like that's coming. I do feel like that's going to be like summer for the vast majority of you. Maybe in the autumn, or you'll see a lot of the results in the autumn or winter actually. It's going to be a little bit different for each of you, but that's what I'm getting. Is that general message. Next point, I would save up, gather resources, make sure you're saving money for whatever reason. That might be important if you can. I know it's not always easy, but you know what? I was going through like a bit of like, it was a course. It was Lee Harris. It was Abundance Upshift. And he was talking about the concept of saving up and how like, even if you can only put $1 aside, it's like $1 a week just kind of starts to rewire and recalibrate things to like, it's probably gonna be more than $1 for most of you to start saving, and like energetically that has an impact and starts things going in a certain direction. That's good. So for whatever reason, if you feel called to implement that, if you don't have a savings or if you're like tight on cash, or if you're just like, yeah, I actually have been thinking about saving up more, I would save up more in July. It looks a little blurry. It doesn't matter. So just make sure you're saving up if that resonates for you. I do feel like for you guys, Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, a saving grace will come in. What does that mean? I think that's self-explanatory. I think in one way, shape, or form, if you've been like waiting on like a break or just something that just like you just have a little bit more wind in your sails or a little bit more wind under your wings, or instead of flapping really hard against the wind's kind of like lifting you up in an updraft and pushing you forward. Like that, I think that's coming in. I do feel like July will be kind of like that. Next message I'm getting is it's all going to be okay. If you're worried, if you're stressed out, I wouldn't overly so. It is going to be okay. I do think God has a plan to kind of just make things either smooth over or just like start working in your favor, if that makes sense. So next point, I would also enjoy the ride this summer, or in general right now. I think like if life is getting wild, I would just kind of enjoy the ride and know it's taking you somewhere better, but just enjoy your life if you can. Next point, I would also get outside and breathe some fresh air. For whatever reason that came through for you guys, if you need that reminder, or if one of you needs that reminder. I think even if it's 5 minutes and you're sitting on the porch or the balcony or whatever, and you're just like, all right, I need to step outside and just breathe. I would do it, as long as it's not too hot. Next points, getting out in nature is another message they're showing me right now too. I think that's going to be important for you this summer. I do feel like it's going to help you recalibrate and kind of upshift internally, or just feel better vibrationally. And the last point I have channeled down here on the paper is don't exhaust yourself. I do feel like that goes hand in hand with like save your strength in July. Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising. Oof, excuse me. So don't exhaust yourself. I do feel like there's going to be plenty to exhaust yourself with down the road. I do feel like it's going to be good things though, for the most part. But I do feel like you're going to have a lot you want to work on, most of you. So I would save up your strength now. So it seems like saving your strength, saving resources, for whatever reason, that's an important theme. July and maybe through August a bit, but that's what I'm getting. Some of the last side messages here, you do have a bright future ahead. So there you go. That's a good message. And I do get that message, like it came through with one of the other signs, but it's kind of like, I guess you could say 5 of Pentacles reversed tarot card, like you won't be left out in the cold. You are going to be okay. I'm going to pull a dragon card. Top card, Lilac Fire Dragon. I guess I did shuffle that deck. Transmutes through the power of divine love, open to transcendent love and enlightenment. Purity of heart brings peace, hope, and joy. What does this mean? So they're putting my eye to this flower, and they're saying you are unfolding, or you will be in the summer months ahead through the fall. I think like you're in a bit of an unfoldment journey. And if you are someone who does energy work, call upon the violet flame. I do feel like this is definitely like a violet flame kind of card, but also I do feel like you are transmuting the past. You might not be someone who likes to sit still, many of you, but I don't know why that even came through. Hold on. I do feel like you've been transmuting the old and you are going to be jolting ahead pretty soon, but I would be patient like this upcoming month, if that makes sense. That's kind of the message I get from that angel deck. A lot of you, I'm hearing something about like you're going to be channeling a lot of, like some of you, if you feel like you want to channel or you have that capability, I feel like you're going to be channeling. That's what this card, Seraphim Seraphina. Be an ambassador for Earth, build your bridge to source. So yeah, and that's what they were saying. So I would also remember your infinite and trust your instincts as well, wolf spirit animal. And I would trust yourselves about this reading if you need to hear that, the way you're interpreting it. Anyways, you guys do have change coming in as well, so hang in there. Side message. Okay, so thanks Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising. I am hoping you have a good July for sure. And we're going to move on to Capricorn. Then we have Aquarius, and then we have Pisces, and then we have Collective. And this live, I was thinking it was going to be an hour. It's probably going to be like 2. So I thought it was going to take like 5 minutes per sign, but it's taking more like 10. So as long as you guys are cool with that, I'm cool with that. Kai. Sorry, I'm not pronouncing this right, but it was like Kai YST. Yeah, I'm waiting for my life to change. I hear that. I do get it will. A quick message, and I know I'm not going to be doing a lot of like personal readings during this live, but what were they going to say? Because I feel like this might be useful for other people too. But I would do one thing that starts to change things, but I would do it in a small way, and it's more like the intention of like getting the energies of change in a positive momentum going, if that makes sense. So like, what's one thing you can do? It could be your routine. It could be like it could be moving your furniture. I don't care, but something you could do to like, the intention is to get the momentum and energies of change in a positive way going. So like one change you can make about yourself, about your style, about your home that you feel would bring a positive thing to you, and try to get that momentum of change going, if that makes sense. That's something that's coming through. But what else more specific? I do feel like you are specifically, you are going to make the change you need to have as well. That's what I'm hearing. And changing your routine might be a good idea. That did come through for like a personal reading I did earlier today, but it's coming through again, so I'll bring it through again. Anyways, back onto Capricorn. So I have read Virgo Crafty Teacher 116. So the replay will be up on my YouTube. That's the link in my TikTok bio. Will take you to the YouTube. I'll probably have a little playlist that says like monthly readings or something, monthly general readings. Side message. Don't forget to ground, guys. If you need to ground, I do feel like this is for me. Not right now. I do feel like everyone here or watching this, like you guys are going to be taken care of in the path ahead. I would really let life lead and trust like. Anyways, sorry. I'm like getting spaced out here. I don't know what it is about the energy. Next, let's just move on to Capricorn. Actually, they wanted me to finish what I was saying, so I apologize, guys. Hold on. What was I saying? I would let life lead because there's a lot coming in this summer, and I know we'll get to the collective read later. Like a lot of energy. I do feel like there's going to be a lot of shifts and changes internally for a lot of people, and that's kind of been like happening, and that's still on the horizon. So just kind of like let life lead and trust like the universe does know better and does know a good path for you guys. Anyways, next point, Capricorn. Sun, Moon, Rising. You're doing good. Thank you, Charity. I appreciate that. So this is for Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, and then we'll go to the next two. So the first thing they want to say for Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising is you haven't messed up. And I know that came through for a few signs, but I don't think it's a bad thing if it's coming through from multiple signs. Like, I feel like if you think you have, you haven't. I think like sometimes, and I know I have to be careful with this because it's not every single thing, but sometimes we make mistakes that are actually divinely guided, and you think it's a mess up, and then you come back a month later and you're like, oh, if I hadn't made that mistake, actually like things would be a lot different in a way that I'm not sure I would have liked. So it's okay to like have divinely guided mistakes or happy accidents like Bob Ross, if that makes sense. The next point is you will win. So similar to some of the other messages, but I do see victory coming in for you guys. Actually this month in July, maybe August or early August for some of you, but I guess the message might be, not might. The other thing they're saying is like you're on track for victory. So keep doing that. Keep going down that path. If you feel like you've been seeing wins, you will get there. They're like, might be in love. I'm like, yes, it might be in love. But it might be in love for some of you guys. For others, just something you've been wanting to win, or it could be random. But I do feel like you will win is the message. Next point is ebb and flow in July. So I think July for you guys, Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, there is going to be a bit of ebb and flow to your experience where it's like happy one day, a little somber the next, neutral the day after. There's not just going to be one energy, but it is like, I think that might be the case for many months for many people. But I feel like overall it's going to be a bit of ebb and flow to this experience where it's like up and down. And it's kind of like I don't know if sine wave, like in math, is the right wave, I just kind of see that like, it's like it starts off and then like this is this part of the month and then it goes down and then it comes up for this like later half of the month and then it kind of hits August, and August actually looks pretty jagged like this, so I don't know. That's the visual they're showing me, is like when it went into August, it was a bit more jagged and sporadic, but I wouldn't worry about that. Next point, summer months are going to be an upshift. So I do feel like I do see an upshift for the Capricorns here. That could be financially. I do feel like that's financially for some of you. Abundance, but in general that could be vibrationally as well. But in one way, shape, or form, in a lot of ways, I think there's upshifts happening or starting in the summer or finalizing. But you're kind of in this upshift period. less worry is something that's coming in. One of the big points for you guys in July was like not worrying, by the way, Capricorn. I don't feel like there's much to worry about, even if it seems like there is. The universe does have it taken care of if there's something you are worried about. But it's definitely an upshift season. They are saying, yeah, because the next point is make sure you relax. I would definitely do what you can to take the edge off. I do feel like that's internal. That might be anxiety-wise. Just something relaxing, even if like maybe instead of heavy metal music, you decide to listen to the flute music in the car or something. That I used to love metal, so I'm not trying to to say don't listen to what you enjoy. I would try to change something up in your day to day that adds a little bit more relaxation, if that makes sense. If you feel called, if that feels right to you. Next point, keep things neat and orderly. For whatever reason, I feel like staying organized is going to help you guys, or keeping your keys in the same place. Just tidying up, making sure things are where you need them to be, if that makes sense. Did I just call you out for the metal? Maybe I did. I'll say I have a really funny thing I want to say, but I'll say it after Capricorn. It's funny to me, at least. Next point. The best is yet to come. I love this message because it's like no matter how good or bad things have been, or if it's been neutral, the best is yet to come. There's better ahead for you in life. Your experience isn't over. The universe has better things planned, or at least wants to give you better things if you will receive them. And you will, by the way, is what I just heard. I do feel like if you feel called to any type of inner work or self-reflection, inner work will yield a lot of results for you guys in July for Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising. So anything you feel called to do to improve yourself, I would do it. Even if it's something external that would you feel like would improve you, like exercise or yoga or something that cultivates peace of mind, some type of practice, I would do it. I think that's importante for the road ahead. Next point, don't listen to people who want to bring you down, if there are any. I feel like that's very self-explanatory. I feel like for a lot of you, you know who you are to a vast degree, even the younger Capricorns out of y'all. So I would try not to let people pull you out of that. And I would definitely just like not listen to the noise, because there's a lot of noise out there, or there can be. I don't want to say there is a lot and create something that doesn't have to be there, but there can be a lot of noise out there, and you don't have to listen to it. I think one of the secrets of life is like listen to the universe and not necessarily like other people. And you're gonna have to like, because the universe can work through other people, and like sometimes the universe is speaking through other people, but it's like sometimes people are just kind of like flapping their mouth, and you don't have to listen to that. So next point is pure heart. I feel like you guys are pure, or you have a pure heart. And for some reason, I think it's important that you hear that or know that for the road ahead. I do feel like there's going to be a need to rest in July for Capricorn people, Sun, Moon, Rising. So I would take as much time as you need if that resonates, and if you have that time. You know what? Like, your husband can do the dishes. It's okay if you need to sit down. If you're married, you know. I don't know. That's just don't literally make your husband do the dishes. That's not the point. The point is resting. Next point is I would definitely also take stock of your wins and celebrate those. I know Virgo had a similar message. Excuse me while I stretch. Oh my God. But I would definitely take time to celebrate your wins. 'Cause I think you've gone further than you realize, and I think just taking a second to reflect on that will show you that. And there's a lot of wins ahead too. So if that's a good thing. Yeah. So some of the main points for Capricorn were stop worrying and don't let anyone limit you, which kind of goes hand in hand with some of the other things I already said. I want to see if there's anything else they want to bring through before I pull a card. I actually do feel like this month is going to be a good one for you guys. They are saying something about haters for at least some of you, so just don't let the haters get you down. Marina, Brandon said, "You do the dishes, honey." Yep, that's what you get for hanging out on live with me. You get out of dish duty. Anyways, I'm gonna pull a card for Capricorn. this is kind of going hand in hand with the don't worry card. I would definitely release all fear. This tends to be a release all fear card when I pull it. It's kind of like don't be afraid of the bats is what I'm hearing. So what does that mean? Like bats aren't really, to give the story, bats aren't really anything to be afraid of. Like sure, there's stories about, you know, vampire bats or whatever, but bats don't usually attack humans. And so like bats are something that people can be afraid of or that they think are scary that actually aren't. And you know, a lot of people think bats are actually cute and cuddly and stuff. So I don't know if that analogy really sticks much in the modern day, but regardless, no need to fear is what I want to say. You guys do have love inbound, I want to say. I do feel like summer might be a good time for a lot of you Capricorns who are single, or it just might be a good time for increased love inbound for you if you're in a relationship. I do feel like there's going to be a bit, the message I hear is like there's a bit of an elevation to love energy for Capricorn, if that makes sense. So that's what I get for you guys. Weird message because they're pointing my eyes to healing on this card again, and they're saying like don't worry about the healing because it's taken care of. So don't force yourself to heal, I guess is a message I'm hearing. I do feel like that's a lot of the messages for Capricorn. So I hope that makes sense for you guys. Hope that resonates. I do feel like Capricorn's going to have a pretty good month ahead for them. So next is Aquarius, and then we have Pisces, and then collective reading. You're welcome, Rachel. Oh, cool. Just tune in on Capricorn. Oh no, I will have a replay for you guys. So it's going to be on my YouTube. So if you're a Capricorn and you just missed Capricorn or you missed all the other signs, sun is Sun, Moon, Rising for each sign, by the way. The YouTube will, it will be on my YouTube. I'll probably make a little playlist, but it'll be there. So hopefully that's, yeah. My gosh, this live is so much longer than I thought it was going to be. I'm just like, oh my gosh. I'm also not used to being up at this time because I recently quit my night job, and so being awake at this time is new for me. It's been like a while, so I'm digging it, but I'm still adjusting, so bear with me. Remember to drink water. Thank you. I love you guys, and the water reminders, always helpful. Okay. Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising. First message I get for you guys is fun, fun, fun. I do feel like it'll be a fun month. They're showing me fun month. They're flashing the words fun month in front of my visuals. So fun month for you guys. And as to back that up, the next point is make sure you are having fun and celebrating Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising. I think like, I do feel like it's going to be important that you have fun because I feel like it balances out life, if that makes sense. It just kind of like keeps you alive and perky and happier, and I don't know if it resonates that Aquarius tend to be more fun oriented, but for some reason I feel like they kind of tend to be like happy-go-lucky, fun oriented. And correct me if I'm wrong, guys. You can totally correct me if I'm wrong, but that's what I'm kind of picking up on for at least some of you. I do get as the next point, God is looking after you and nudging you to enjoy you. Yeah, one of the messages that kept coming through was like enjoying yourself and enjoying life. So for whatever reason, I think that's an important theme. Like if things have felt dull or like colorless, see what you can do to like intentionally have fun or bring fun. Like, I don't know, go to Six Flags or the theme park or whatever is by you. Do something that lights you up. For some reason, I think you just kind of need that jazz. You need to be jazzed up a little bit in a good way. Next point, I would also expand your learning this month, learn something new. So if you're like undertaking any endeavors or you just like want to learn something, for some reason expanding your learning or learning something new is something that might be important to look into this month. It could be cryptocurrencies if you're like trying to invest in cryptocurrencies. It could be like you're trying to start a business and you're like, I don't know how to market. Maybe buy a marketing book. But I think there you go. Sorry, I made Casey Lay Reiki a monitor because she wanted to be a moderator. But I'm honored you love being here, Case of the Reiki. And I remembered you asked me now during one of your readings that I did for you. So happy moderatorship. So back to Aquarius. Yeah, so expanding your learning. The next point was like, don't exhaust yourself. I know that's been common for a lot of these signs, but for whatever reason, guys, don't exhaust yourself in July. A message coming through for Aquarius, I do see a lot of like etheric downloads coming in for you, and just kind of hitting you guys pretty hard. So if you feel laid out, like take that time to rest and to rejuvenate and to integrate the upgrades, because one of the collective messages, well, they don't want me to go into that. I'll go into that later. But definitely take time for that. I do see you guys downloading a lot and just kind of going in new directions as a result, potentially like in the autumn months. Next point, ride the current of where you are at, but make sure to get off at the right time. There's a place you want to go. So the visual I got when I channeled that message was like, there's like the currents of the ocean, and maybe you're like riding a raft, or maybe like the sea turtles like Finding Nemo, they were in like the jet stream of the currents and they'd like ride somewhere. It's pretty much like if you're riding the current of life and you're just kind of like letting life like kind of carry you, make sure you're getting off at either the right island or like the right bus stop or whatever you want to use as the analogy. It's like, it's definitely okay to take that ride. Just like if there's a place you want to go, make sure you're like getting off at the appropriate like exit points of that current to like get to your destination. So I want to just try to bring something through a bit more concrete that'll make more sense potentially if that doesn't resonate. So I feel like if you've been letting life lead, like sometimes, because I do feel like it can be a dance and a co-creation, and you don't want to just like try to like, I feel like the universe is too big for you to drag along with it, if that makes sense. If you have a certain plan and it's just like, no, I am everything, and you can try to drag me along with your plan, but I am the plan, and I'm what's actually going to happen, and I'm everything that's going to happen beyond that. So like you can't really and that's not to mitigate your potency or your power, because at the same time you are the universe, and you're learning to dance with yourself in a way as an incarnate being. All that to say is if you're riding the bus, make sure you get off at the right bus stop. I think it's just like if you have a destination, make sure like if you're letting life carry you there, that you actually like get off there and don't just keep going somewhere else. If that even makes sense to you. I think like I want to try and make like a better example or get one. So let's say you want a boyfriend and the universe brings you like 12 boys. And then the universe is just like, okay, you're riding this like current with like 12 boys. Here's the one. And like you have this amazing date, and it's just like, it's like your dream guy, or girl, or girl, we'll just make this very inclusive, or non-gender binary individual. And it's just like perfect. Don't keep riding the current onto the next person. Like definitely get off that current and like go with that person. Does that make sense, guys? Anyways, tidy up is the next point. This came through for Capricorn as well, I think, or something similar. But I would definitely like make sure you're cleaning things up. But I think this is a bit analogous and overarching. It's not just like your room. It's also maybe your act if you've been like, if that resonates for you. And if it doesn't, that's okay. But cleaning up like your looks, cleaning up your place of living, for whatever reason, like tidying up is just something that like will prepare you for the future. And it's a good habit to cultivate, I'm hearing. So pay attention to that if that resonates. But I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm just bringing through what they're bringing through. So next point is like this really ties in with a lot of what I was already saying, but shine bright and enjoy yourself. Just be you. Make sure you're shining. I do feel like joy is a way that people can shine. So I think this, like just adding joy just seems to be a theme for you, Aquarius. And the next point, the happier the better. To fill your schedule with things that will help you enjoy life. I already said that, so I feel like I'm just harping on a lot of the same points over and over and over again. So if you needed to hear that, perfect. I hope that makes sense to you, Aquarius. Some of the other messages I got were enjoy the ride and make sure you follow your gut. I would definitely trust your intuition this month, and I'm always going to tell everyone to always follow their intuition, but for some reason they want to make a point of it. I think that's with people, and that's with endeavors, with job places, and with choices. Just trust yourself. You kind of already know, and for some of you, I feel like you already know what the future looks like for some reason. I pulled this card, and it's Orange Gold Dragon from Arcturus. Opens you to knowledge for the new golden age, carry the energy of the future, be a guiding light. So that makes sense if you know what's coming in. But one of the messages coming through, and it came through with an earlier sign, was own your magic. This is definitely, like, to me, when I pull out, a lot of the messages that tend to come through are being magical or owning your wisdom. But you do have the magic to create your reality, at least to a certain extent. So I would also make sure you're honing that and make sure you're bringing in the energies you want to see in your life, either by asking for them or by putting the things into place that'll bring that about, if that makes sense. I do see good luck for you in July as well, or in the future months. And I get that from the cricket, because they show me the cricket on that card. I don't feel like you'll have to try hard to find love, by the way, Aquarius. I feel like putting yourself out there will be enough, is another message I'm getting. It's like you hold the key to a lot of hearts, or you can. So, I don't know, that's just a side message. And maybe consider playing with crystals too. Okay, sorry, I get on like a roll with those cards, and it just keep, oh, and this guy shot out once again, so I want to make sure I got all the messages for you guys. The message I get is hone your magic, own your magic. So make sure you're doing things that you consider magical, whether that's setting intentions, playing with crystals, whatever it is. I do get the message, it's time to shine. So if you're doing anything in the limelight, like, do it. Hope that makes sense, Aquarius. I feel like I just hit on a lot of the same points over and over and over and over and over and over again. So I hope that even like helped. But I'm definitely the key holder. There you go. And there will be joy coming in, guys. Just a message there. But they do want to say create your reality for some reason. That's another message for Aquarius. So a side message before I move on to Pisces is, like, don't just let other people like show you or tell you the way. Also, like, show yourself the way, if that makes any sense. So that's, it fit very well with me. Perfect. I'm glad to hear it. So that's what I have. There's one more message for Aquarius Sun, Moon, Rising. This is interesting. So they want me to flip open this book of, it's a book of angelic symbols that this one woman channeled through. These aren't my symbols, but it's Zebu, and they want me to. So the symbol coming through for you guys is right action, and it's in reverse because of the mirror effect on TikTok. But for whatever reason, I guess it's like you could consider this a blessing to take the right actions for yourself and to create in the right ways. What's the message with this? I think it's just make sure you're making choices you want to make. I think that goes along with that trust your gut message. So, like, don't feel pushed in the wrong directions by anyone else. Definitely, like, take a second before you act and, like, does this feel right to my heart? Does this feel right to me? And then make your choice, but make sure it's the right action for you. Does that make sense? Mara Strepa, first of all, good to see you. How are you doing? I did do Scorpio. I will have a replay on YouTube and in the next couple of days. Amy Jane, resonates so much. Thank you. You're welcome. I'm grateful to hear it. So the next, so now we're going to go to Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising. Whew. All right. First thing I'm hearing for Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, I do feel like a gratitude practice would be helpful. And that message is coming about. I didn't write that down, but they pointed my eyes to this symbol on the front of the Zebu book I just touched for Aquarius. And this is the symbol for gratitude. And so they pointed my eyes to gratitude, and they kind of gave me that message for you guys. So I think a gratitude practice would be helpful for you guys and would just kind of help to start building more momentum towards a better future and to a happier, brighter outlook at life and at yourself as well, and what you bring to the table in the world. Because you bring a lot to the table in the world is what I'm hearing. And I think you need to know that and own that and be shown that, because I don't, people might not always tell you for whatever reason. But I guess, like, there's not a lot of people going around, and, like, you don't often go to the cashier at PetSmart and they kind of stop and, like, gaze into your eyes and be like, hey, you bring a lot to the table. And, like, that'd be, I don't know. But that's what I'm hearing for you guys. Next point, or first point, actually, that I actually have written down here. Explore your depths. Because there's, like, buried treasure. So I think it's, like, exploring you internally and just exploring the depths of you. This is definitely a time, like, I think, where either life is causing you to go deep or you're going deep. And I don't know why I'm seeing, like, a capsized ship, but it's almost like if a ship capsized within you and you had buried treasure like lost at sea, now's the time to go scuba diving for the treasure lost within you. Does that make sense? Hopefully to you guys. But essentially, like, exploring your depths and your internal world and reality, and pulling out the bits of you that are magical and the bits of you that are necessary for the world right now, and the better parts of you, and excavating, like, because the next point is subconscious excavation, like excavating certain like realizations or knowings from your subconscious, and maybe even doing a little bit of subconscious healing, whether that's through like Reiki or getting an energy work session, whatever that looks like for you. Therapy. I don't judge. Therapies can be very helpful. But now's a good time to just like explore those depths and start bringing these like parts of you forward that you might not know are there, that are actually like really good, and either kind of got shut away in childhood in the past, or something happened where like, and it could be past life stuff, but you just have this treasure within you that's ready to be brought to the surface. And that doesn't mean it's not still deep within you. It's just, it's ready to shine forth and be something you're utilizing in your daily life. Just internal wisdom, internal knowing, if that makes sense. But meditation could be good right now. Just things that have you exploring yourself, introspection, journaling, things of that nature. The next point, they're saying the more you examine you, the easier it is to move forward. I think that's in life, but that could be from like a past relationship. It's going to be different for each of you, but the more you're examining yourself right now, the easier it is going to be to move forward. One, well, what do they want to say? You'll know yourself, so it's easier to move forward for you. But two, you'll be more healed and feel more put together, and you'll just have more clarity on like what you need. So it's easier to ask for what you want when you know what you want and what you need. Does that make sense? Next point for Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising. Don't forget your self-care this month. I do feel like that's going to be important. They're kind of showing me like disheveled. I'm not saying you guys are disheveled, but I would keep up on your self-care so you're not disheveled if you aren't, and if you are, I would start taking care of yourself. Next point, you are the gold that you seek. So if you feel like you're seeking external validation or anything of the sort, excuse me, if you're trying to find something in someone else that like you could really be giving to yourself, now is the time to go with it and pull that out of you. That is kind of a tandem message with the earlier points. But I do feel like you have all that you need, like for yourself, and you are the gold that you seek. That it might be similar to like a be the change you want to see in the world kind of message. But that is what I'm getting for you. Next point, there's someone coming in. Don't shut everyone out. So could be love, could be friendship. I think in some way, like summer months, July, there's like new people on the way that might brighten your day, actually, is what I'm hearing. So be sure not to shut everyone else right away, even if they're not your normal like person or type. They might surprise you after like a few minutes of talking. You don't have to shut out Brad from accounting right away. Maybe he's cool. Maybe he has crystals. I don't know. Next point is you're not average, and I feel like you are shining and you don't realize it. So hopefully that resonates for you, but you're not like an average person. I don't feel like you're a mundane person, and it's best not to live like you are when you're not, is something I'm hearing. So hope that makes sense for you for Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising. Next point is you haven't disappointed anyone with your choices. Despite what you might think, I think sometimes we get down on ourselves if we like let someone down for breaking up with them or like something else. But like at the end of the day, what I'm hearing is you did what you had to do. So it's okay. And like any disappointment will fade. And like we are all kind of just here in this journey. And sometimes we have these stories about like, I owe this person this or that, or I must be like this for this organization or that person. But really, we're all just here, and a lot of the constructs, like even like business or this or that, are really like government. It's all made up. Like, because sometimes I get a little weird, and I have these moments. Like I was driving today, and I saw like a dog, and I'm like, you know, like I know we're not just animals. There's like so many higher aspects of us, and we go all the way to source, straight to source. We are divine, and at the same time, like as far as like humans and being incarnate, it's like all these structures and concepts and like things like roads and rules and like how to drive, like don't turn left on red, like it's all kind of made up. And like it's kind of just imposed. Like it wasn't here like 1,000 years ago, you know, or thousands of years ago, tens of thousands, however long ago. You know, it's like, so all that to say, you haven't disappointed anyone, because like a lot of the structures are made up. This is going a weird place. So let me recenter one and like come back to this message, because it made sense when I wrote it down. But even just on a personal level, like we're all on our journey, we're all on our path, and even if people have this story that you disappointed them, it's like they kind of made that up. Does that make sense? But anyways, the next point I want to say, self-care. We already talked about self-care, didn't we? Or was that the last Aquarius? Just don't put others' needs before your own is the message. You might have a wild ride this July, Pisces Sun Moon Rising, or might be like a wild time in the near future. So I wouldn't get whiplash, but I would just kind of like let yourself. I think the less you get taken for a ride, the better, if that makes sense. So just kind of staying present in the ride might be a good idea. You'll be okay, is what I want to say. And another thing for you, Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, lazy is okay this month. And that makes sense because there's a lot of messages about introspection and exploring your depths and going within. And all this, it seems like pretty deep stuff. So it's okay to be lazy this month is what I want to say. So I hope that makes sense. You feel it coming, sweet, genuine love? That's a beautiful username. Yeah, that makes sense. That's what came through. And the next, kind of like the side message, and there's more they want to bring through, so give me 1 second, is like self-discovery is imminent for Pisces Sun, Moon, Rising, which makes sense with all the earlier messages. What else do they want to bring through? Working with angels isn't a bad idea for you guys if you feel called to that aspect. I do feel like a lot of you guys can channel. I know I said that for, I think, was that Sagittarius? Someone else that came through, because one of the cards came through. Air and Water Dragon. So what's this? Helps you to connect to higher frequencies, trust your intuition, develop your psychic abilities, be open to enlightenment, express your inner song. If that doesn't sound like a Pisces card with the intuition and the psychic abilities, the message is like you can fly. Maybe you feel grounded at the moment, or past experiences have had you feel like you can't go anywhere, or like you can't fly, but you can. You do have the ability to access higher frequencies and bring that into your day to day, and have an impact just through you, like being, just as you connect more with higher frequencies, as you do your thing with like intuition, like your energy fields do strengthen and bolster and can be filled with more lights, and you do have an impact everywhere you go just by being. And I think that's a very underlooked aspect of spirituality, is like as you like expand and become more multidimensional, or allow yourself to expand into that multidimensionality, you really bring a lot more to the table just through you being you than you realize. So even if you don't feel like you're doing a lot, sometimes just like cultivating yourself spiritually, energetically, taking that Reiki course or whatever it is, learning to channel, heightening your intuition, that has such a bigger impact, because then you're carrying that frequency and that energy around with you in a good way, and you're bringing that, like you're just kind of expanding the potential and possibilities for all of humanity. And that sounds like a big message, but I think it's something that's very underlooked in the grand scheme of things spiritually, that probably won't be for long or forever, but they can have a big impact even if you don't feel like you can go anywhere or do anything for anyone. Sometimes working on yourself is the way to help everyone, if that makes sense. Side message, you are protected. And this card is Fire Dragon. He doesn't pop up very much, but burns up the lower energies around you. You are safe and protected. I didn't realize that was on the card, but that's the message I got when I pulled it. Be determined and inspired, clear your soul pathway. So I think like a lot of that is like the going within, the picking up the pieces, the unearthing the treasure, is like it's like burning up all of those things that hinder you or that don't really serve you. So hopefully that makes sense. I do feel like there is a bit of a fire within you, but that's a good thing. And it is kind of burning up the old. And it is very energetic, what I'm talking about. So hopefully that even makes sense. But it's kind of like you're using like these past experiences that you're ready to like do away with. Is like if you think like a train and it has like that furnace with like the coal, like you're kind of just like, these things are being used as fodder to fuel and like alchemize and like uplift you for the future, if that makes sense. Hope that even makes sense. That's what I'm getting. and these cards that fell. Okay, so that's what I have for Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising. I do have a collective kind of summer or July kind of message, and then we'll probably, maybe I'll hang out for a bit, but it's been much longer of a live than I was anticipating, which I realized when I sat down and was like writing these, like, this is probably going to go longer than I think it is, but now it's happening, so here we are. Okay, so we're just doing a collective messages. This is for, so anyone still hanging out, thanks for, it's definitely been good hanging out with you. I know people probably got their signs and then dipped, which is fair. It's like a 2-hour live. So, but let's go through the collective messages and see like what came through here. So, and they might have some other, I'll pull a card and do some other points too. But first point is like, and I did do like a channeled, like a more of like a directly channeling my guides like post on TikTok recently about July, but the first, so this lines up with that a lot, but the first point I got was like it's a soul-led month, and going forward I do feel like it has been, but it's like it's ramping up more in July and some of the coming months where things are a bit more soul-led on Earth, and it's like the ego might not have or won't really have as much of a grip on outcomes or on choices, because everyone's getting a bit more intuitive, or a lot more in the future. Everyone's kind of connecting more. Everyone's like kind of wondering if there's more out there, and of course there is. So it's like it's being easier and easier, and like there's more and more like soul with everyone, with each. Everyone's soul is more with them, so it's just easier to go with your soul and what's right for you on a soul level. Next thing, trajectory changes, going deeper into the best route for you. So I do feel like a lot of this is maybe finalizing some of the changes from the eclipses or going deeper into those changes. Because I definitely had a lot of changes that lined up with the eclipse and the solstice, which I was kind of getting with the eclipses, where it was like, excuse me, like very soul-led changes, or like changing like trajectories, but like to get you more on a soul-led pathway or like the direction your soul wants you to go. So I feel like July is like going deeper into that or expanding into different branches. So if things changed, even if it's just internal, it's going to be a little bit different for each of you. I do hear it's a lot of it's external actually. Now that now that they're adding that in, but you're just going to be getting a little bit deeper and more like in depth with like that direction, and getting into the finer detail of what that means for you is kind of the message I'm getting for the collective. Next point I get is like learning secrets about yourself. So I do feel like in July, like there's a lot of secrets about the self coming up for people, which makes sense because I think like when that soul energy comes in, it can unearth things about you that you need to know or that you need to see to like go of to move forward in a more soul-led way, if that makes sense. So I do feel like there's a lot of inner healing on the rise. And just people going more on their own road and in the ways that call to them, and feeling less like dragged around by society's expectations, because I think that's crumbling. Societal expectations on that whole game just like is not as prominent. I don't know if you guys have noticed it, and like maybe sure, like sometimes like people's parents or grandparents, like there's still angry people on the internet and stuff like that. But all that to say, I feel like a lot of like the stories that like, oh, society this, society that, is tending to crumble because like the more people are, first of all, coming online intuitively, and the more people are communicating over the internet, there's a lot more like dialogue around these points. And so like a lot of these stories of like society says this kind of don't have as much hold over people, because it's like what's society, like what is this like them, what is this like people, like we're all kind of waking up to this like higher calling for each of us, I want to say, and like it's like kind of like screw society, like what is society anymore. Next point I get is people are going to be trusting the universe more. So I feel like you guys will be trusting the universe more in July, or you'll have more reasons to trust the universe, and that's just coming in like one by one in the months ahead, and probably for a while. And there will still be things that happen, and I just feel like people's faith will be less shaken because there will be more reason to trust them than not, is what I want to say. One thing I am getting, I know for one sign they were going to be more triggered in July, but cooling off it was the phrase, and when I asked what that meant, in parentheses they kind of put not as triggered. So I think people are cooling off from the that whole pandemic thing. People are cooling off from that, and like people are starting to recover, and people are starting to come online and just not be as bothered by like fear and a lot of those energies is what I'm getting. So you might see that in July. Next point is trusting yourself. I do feel like people will be trusting themselves and the universe more. The point I have after that, I do, again, this is something we already talked about, but truths are going to be coming to the surface. I do feel like that's in the months ahead. I do feel like a lot of people are realizing who they are, and this ties in with a lot of the messages. And I think like what I'm getting is there might be a lot less trouble in July for a lot of you. If there's been trouble, I think it's just like, I just kind of hear not as much trouble. I think things are, there might be a bit more ease, but if you really want that, I would also ask for more ease. I think people, you guys can have a lot more influence over your reality by like asking for certain things or asking for things to play out a certain way than you realize. And so one of the things I want to leave you with this whole collective message is like, even if something's like not quite what you wanted to hear, you can't ask the universe like, okay, how does it get any better than that? Or what will it take for something better to show up than that? It's like, you're not really like stuck with what I'm saying or like what any reader says. And like, that I know there are some really fantastic readers out there and like they say it and like it just happens. But I just also want to leave you with, you're not limited and you can kind of take the reins and ask for things to play out in a certain way or better. And I think it'd be good to like, if people started playing with that more and started like taking the reins in their own reality a bit more and seeing what they could manifest and have show up and how they could have things a little get better than maybe they were told it was going to be, if that makes sense. But that's kind of what I have. I'll pull a card. I'm going to cut the dragon card deck. Oh, I actually get soul healing with this message. So this card, Blue Dragon from the Pleiades, prepares you to accept source healing. Accept a heart activation, give and receive heart healing. So I know this came out a couple times, but people are healing at deeper levels, realizing who they are and moving forward in all new ways. I do feel like that's kind of a summer theme. I'm going to pull another dragon on the bottom of the deck. We do have Golden Atlantean Dragon. Helps you remember the wisdom of Golden Atlantis. Awaken, bring back your knowledge, give some talents, reclaim your mastery. So what is the message with this card for July? I guess the side, and not guess, what I'm hearing is like, I would be sure to master yourself. They're pointing my eyes to this mastery points. I do feel like there's a lot of wisdom coming in for a lot of you. We're just making wiser choices and it's easier to go that way, which makes sense with like the increased soul energies and everything. I do feel like that's the message. I feel like that's a lot of the message for you guys. So I hope that all resonated and makes sense. I do hope July sees everyone here well. I will have a replay again on YouTube, on my YouTube, and the link in the bio. So you can either subscribe to me there or check back there in a couple of days, and I'll have that up for you guys with the timestamps. I do as well offer personal readings. Deja, I'll get to that in just a second. So I do offer personal readings through the link in my bio, through my website. So if that interests you, you can also schedule that there, and I'll talk to you on the phone. Marina7444, will you post Crystal Grid Live on YouTube? Yeah, I will. I was kind of sitting with it, but I will because you asked. So I'll definitely do that, just so you have that there. But it would probably make sense that I'd post that, actually. Elma Lara, you are so amazing. Thank you so much. I appreciate you very much. Thank you. That means a lot. I'm really grateful to hear it, and I'm thank you. Okay, so Deja, do you have any advice for accepting the wishes you have that can't come true? Yes, actually. So I want to see how they want to answer it for you, and then. So think of the energy of the wish you want to come true, because sometimes maybe this is or isn't what you're talking about. You have a very specific thing that you want to happen, and you're like, well, I can't be with this person, or you know what, my grandpa's dead, I can't see my grandpa. and there is other ways, of course, around that. Like you could talk to a medium, a good medium, by the way. But the other thing, or you could learn your own mediumship. I don't always recommend that unless you have a natural propensity for that and you can really trust your gifts. But just make sure you know what you're doing is what I want to say. But the next, not that there's anything to be afraid of, but for some reason they just, they're just like, my guys are just like, don't convince people to become mediums for no reason. So I'm like, okay, that's never mind. But that's what they were. But like, you can have like, think of the energy of the wish you want, and like that energy can also be manifested, or like you can have that same energy in a different manner. For instance, like if you want to go to Italy, but then like something like 2020 happens, and you can't go to Italy, like you might go visit somewhere, or have like a weekend where you go, I don't know, maybe you bought a bottle of champagne and like you're out on the porch, and like the energy is very similar or the exact same as you would have had if you'd gone to Italy, if that makes sense. So you can have the energy of these experiences or wishes, or like it can show up in a different form. If it's like a specific person you want to be with, you might have someone you meet down the road who has like a lot of those same like aspects to them, like and it's trippy once it happens. I think you'll know what I'm talking about. But do you ever meet someone who reminds you of someone from your past, that like they have like a lot of the same qualities or mannerisms, or they talk the same way, or they'll say some of the same things, and you're like, you're like 30% this other person, but you're way healthier. Like, you can also have like wishes come true like that, where it's like, maybe it didn't work out with this person, but maybe you'll meet someone, you know, a month or like a year from now who has some of those qualities that you really enjoyed, but it's actually better. It's a better fit, and you're more grown, and this person's more evolved than this older person, and it's actually a healthy match. That can happen as well. So it's like the dream isn't dead if like the exact wish, like maybe you wanted to win a competition, or maybe you entered like a raffle to win a car and you didn't win it. It doesn't mean another car that's more aligned, that you like more, won't show up, and it doesn't mean like you can't keep putting that intention out there to win a different contest and you actually enjoy winning that contest more. Does that make sense? Because I know sometimes people don't always delve into the details with manifesting. We're like, what about this very specific contest? And it's just like, well, you might not have won that contest, but you could ask again and be like, okay, well, I'd really like to win the next art contest I enter, or like one of these. I'm going to win an art contest. Like, universe, show me what it takes. What will it take for me to win an art contest? And you're like, you're asking again, you're asking differently. You keep showing up, and then it happens. I hope that makes sense, Deja. I hope that even hits upon what you're asking about. But that's kind of like what I get. Yeah, exactly. Like, what were the feelings or energies you were trying to get if the wish was a specific person that either didn't come true, or that just aren't happening? Or like, what are the qualities you admire about that person? Because like, for example, like there are people that I really liked in the past, or like I had an ex one time, and like I met this new person. I'm like, oh my gosh, you're like a combination of like you just said this thing that was very similar to this person, but you remind me of this other person I used to really like, but you're also your own person with all these amazing qualities that I've been like looking for in someone. So like that can happen, if that makes sense. I hope that makes sense, Deja. I hope that makes sense. But you will have the right person, by the way. Hi, Anela. How's it going? Guys, that's kind of what I have for the live and for the general reading. I'm a little like feeling a little tuckered, so I don't know if I can handle too much Q&A. I can handle a little bit, but I think I'm gonna kind of close it out here. So I hope it's a good July for everyone. It's Izzy, good to see you. You're so welcome. Engel Terry, I do feel like you have the right man right now. I don't know. Deja, that makes me feel a little better. Thank you. I'll try not to miss them anymore now the best I can. Yeah, I hear ya. And, ooh, fireworks. That's a good sign for love, for anyone who wants love. And yeah, because, like, you'll see those qualities in that person you miss in another person, I feel like. Like, I've seen that play out for me. I've heard about, like, another spiritual teacher talk about it, and I just knew exactly what he was talking about because I'd seen it. And I do feel like you'll see it, too. Self-care July, yeah. Yeah, the general will be on YouTube. I'll post it in a couple days, Mama Kibbs. So you'll be able to, I'll have timestamps for each of the signs. You're welcome, guys. Oh, you're welcome, Marina. Thank you. I'm glad it was fun, Momo. You're welcome. But But have a great July, guys. I hope it's a good month. And, you know, if you're going through anything, this too shall pass. Definitely not the end of the world. So, all right, guys. Take care. It doesn't feel right to sign off yet. I don't know why, but so maybe I'll wait just a little bit longer. Oh, sorry, I didn't want to. Nope, they want me to sign off. Okay, sorry guys. Have a good night. Much love, and may the universe bring you the blessings you most need, and may the highest and best desires to manifest for you. All right? Have a good night.